paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers, scum. They're on giant death factories, keeping babies alive and selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy weird sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy weirdo woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. Literal vampire pot belly goblins are hobbling round coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap, we don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
Are you guys aware that we almost see no titties in movies anymore? And we only see dicks. Hey, anybody notice this? Yes, I love titties! Big old titties!
Welcome, everybody. It's another day. It's another damn crazy ass day. Oh, wow. How have you guys been? I hope you guys have been great. I know I've been relaxing. I had a really good night yesterday night. Alabama, you know how it is sometimes. I had a really good night yesterday night and relaxed and talked to a bunch of friends and had a really good time. And also talked to my boy, Nick Rekieta. And I talked to him a lot today as well. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Obviously, I'm not going to give any crazy specifics away because he's involved in some serious charges right now. So I'm going to keep that respectful. But we're going to talk a lot about that. So you're going to get a feel for what's going on. And it gave me a really new perspective. It hasn't really changed what I thought from Monday, but it has given me some possibilities on what's actually going on here, because it's the charges and everything that's involved in this are very direct. But there's some stuff going on behind the scenes that's a little important, I think. So I learned a lot of that, and so we'll allude to a little bit of that, and we're going to also read the entire new report that came out today because it's pretty freaking crazy. And we're going to read some other stuff. Somebody in the Yellow Flash group, the DM group, leaked all the DMs in the group. That's very interesting to me. And it's frustrating because look, Nick types that stuff in confidence, and I get it. Like he probably shouldn't be saying shit online. You know, I'm not a lawyer, but I know the first things first is you never talk. Just don't talk to anybody about nothing, unless it's like your wife, and as long as she's not involved. Maybe I don't even know about then, right? So, what's up, Uncivil Law? How you doing, dude? How you doing, Kurt? Kurt and me are on the same page with most things, I think, when it comes to this too. So thank you for being in here, my man. Dryless, by the way, there's a lot of super chats. I'm going to mention them in 2 seconds. But anyways, those DMs were leaked. That sucks. I have a good idea of the people that could have done it. A lot of people are saying Yellow Flash. I don't think he did it at all. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't think Yellow Flash did it at all. People that are benefiting from it, people that are streaming, talking about it, that's like likely your culprit. And I'm not gonna name names or anything because I don't know for sure. We all have our suspicions. Obviously, we're people. We're all people. We all have our opinions. Tug, it was Tug all along. No, of course not, dude. Tug's true blue as hell, man. He's redneck like me. Us redneck guys have no other option to be true blue because we're too stupid to be conniving and manipulative. Anyways, but no, I have my ideas, and I don't know if they're true, but whatever. So somebody leaked those DMs, and that was real shitty. So the whole group has pretty much been disbanded now. Yeah. So, and Nick told everybody to fuck off, which I would not expect anything less. Let's be completely fair. So we're going to dive in, boys. We're going to dive in. It's going to be head first. And we're also going to talk about, the body cam footage is going to come out. I'm pretty sure there's no way around that. It's going to be tomorrow or the next day. Maybe tonight. I don't fucking know. So you're going to see that. And a lot of people read the report and they think they're going to see some pretty emotionally driven stuff when it comes to children in the body cam. I don't know. And people are saying on Twitter and whatnot that, it's going to show the kid thing. And I'm like, look, maybe it will, maybe it won't, but people are stating it as absolute fact. And it's just not happened yet. And you very well could be right. And that's going to fucking suck to see. It's going to suck to see. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. But yeah. Let's read. I'm going to read these couple super chats and we're going to jump in. We're going to go ahead and jump right in. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you like the show. And make sure you get the hell on it, doggone it. Because this stuff's pretty close to me, man. I don't know if you guys know. And I know you guys think that me and Nick did a show for a while and maybe traveled together a little bit. And I know you think it's when you're specifically looking from a straight up viewer perspective, you don't see the other perspective of these people are actually friends. These people actually care about each other. These people have been through tough experiences and enlightening experiences as friends. So it's tough for a lot of us. A lot of us obviously can fucking cut the cord, I've noticed. I've noticed a lot of people can just cut the cord and be like, woo! I get it. But it's, it hits a little bit closer to home. And that's why when I had this conversation, with Nick today, or was yesterday? It was yesterday, I think. Yeah, it was yesterday. The first conversation. I had to top some stuff and I was like, I don't want to say this. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say this. But I got to. Yeah, I have to say what I got to say. So anyways, Billy Hatcher. My boy. I hope Nick is better. I want you guys to do more streams together. Those are fun times, and I miss his fat jokes. Yeah, they're hilarious. I don't foresee a time where me and Nick will be doing a show anytime soon. I would probably prefer it if Nick just relaxed and focused on his fight in front of him. Thanks for the raid, Tug. I love you. So anyways, yeah. So thank you, Billy. I love you. Your pink boy is in my face and it smells so good. Dryless with the first red boy of the night. You're on the car for Iowa. Thank you, my friend. Every $100 super chat is on my race car for the NASCAR Arkham Menard series going to Iowa Speedway. Oh, I'm so excited, dude. I'm so excited. Thank you, man. I love you. I appreciate you, Dry. Let's get on it, doggone it. We almost finished 9th at Charlotte. God, that'd have been crazy, but had some shit happen at the end, and we ended up 13th. So, but still an amazing finish for such a big field. 30 cars. We finished 13th. Good. So thank you, Dryless. Love you. I appreciate that so much. The squid, the law tube implosions, drama farming is super gay, but it's also funny. And whoever's out there leaking DMs is super gay. On a farm is level gay. Everybody's gay. We're all gay. No, I agree. You know, I kind of agree with that. It does kind of suck that there's a lot of people just like shitting on each other, man. And I get it. Look, I fucking get it. I get it. I get it. When there's money to be made and you see your concurrent viewers of freaking 5, 8, 10, 12, 15,000. Yeah, I get it. I get that aspect of it. That's just not me. I can't do it. I can't do it, man. Like I said, Southern boys like me and Tug, we can't emotionally manipulate. We're too dumb and stunted in the brain. You know, we just say whatever we think. Thank you, Squid. I love you. Steve said, oh, God told me once, if you're going to break the law, keep it to one at a time. That's some good that's some good ass advice right there. Thank you, Steve. Kathy Trout says, thank you for not trashing Nick. Well, we haven't really begun. No. I mean, it's like say it's going to be the same vibe as Monday, guys. Same vibe as Monday. You know, Master Shake says, I just love YouTube. They didn't send me a notification that you're streaming while Rumble did. Well, look at that. Thank you so much. The algorithm suppression is real. Oh, you don't even know. You don't even know, dude. You know how it is. My NASCAR content gets nuked, but it's fun to make, and I love racing, and I'm getting paid to race, so it's not killing me, right? Now I'm not getting paid anything. Wow, I'm getting paid pretty much almost break even on travel expenses. That's kind of where it is. Thank you, Dryless. Why is that so low? There we go. It's a weird community, you YouTubers. You can only say things politically correct. I don't know to raise hell. Praise Dale pissed me off. You have the rules. Yeah, dude, I agree. Thank you, Dryless. My boy Dryless is always going hard. We're halfway to Naked Snake for the 308th time in a row. 309th. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Dryless. We love you. Thank you so much, my friend. God, what a good man this guy is. I appreciate you. All right, so that umbrella guy's in the chat. Hey, man, if you want to link, if you want to link, just let me know. And of course, you know, it's kind of open invite. But yeah, no, there's good people. There's some really good legal analysts out there. Look, I'm not a lawyer, but I've been watching a lot of stuff like legal analysis from people, and I would say Uncivil Law is probably the best to watch because he's very meticulous. And also Joe, my boy Joe. I love Joe. He's a good man. So a good logic's been good too. So I've been watching them, and I've been watching Legal Mindset as well because I feel like his coverage is good. But he seems way more angry, a little bit like on one side more. But hey, man, I get it. People have different opinions, and but I've been watching a lot. Nate does good too. Yeah, Rakin Knight, my boy. Thank you, my friend. I love you, Rakin. Thank you for the orange boy. What's up, you beautiful bastard? Nothing much, man. Thank you so much for the first orange boy. Second orange boy. I'm sorry, Squid. I'm a bad friend. Fat Chick Thriller. I'm late, but Yellow Flash did not do it. It would have had his text highlights blue. Yeah, dude. No, I can confidently say I don't think Yellow Flash leaked those DMs. And I can't really give you specifics why. There's a few, but I don't think it was him. I'm pretty confident it wasn't. So this is how it is sometimes, man. Anyways, make sure you guys like the show, like the super chats, because you can like them now, which is weird, but cool. All right. So anyways, we're going to jump right into it. There's a new report. There's also some crazy shit going on. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's the petition to televise or stream the actual hearing that's coming in August, which is already has 1,000 public signatures. And 6 attorneys have notarized it. I'll pull up the tweet. It's Noel, old Josh Moon, and I'm sure that dude fucking hates me, but it's fine. He's got the tweet, Also, let me close the DMs before I open this. Holy shit, I almost had the DM open. Let's can I click out of this? Hold on, I about goofed, boys. Let me put my boy in there. Oh fuck no, go away. Go away, DMs. Thank you. Much better. I got it fixed. You know what? I'll just put you in on the screen. There you go, baby. All right. So and there goes my damn. There it goes. There we go. All right. So there's the petition. We're gonna pull that up in a second. There's also the bond report. We're gonna pull that up. There's also the body cam footage. We're gonna pull that up and give Tug the link. Okay, shit. All right. And then there's the state of Minnesota versus Nick Rekieta. The new report. We're gonna pull that up as well. And can I download that? Because it's like really big. That's what she said. Not really. She never says it, man. It's a kind of a sad time to be alive. There it is. Okay. And the group DMs, I mean, they're already out there, so might as well read them. And I'm going to try to give you a little bit more context of the situation because the context was kind of removed. All right. Anyways, so let's get the Tug train going. Let's get my boy Tug in here. And we'll have a fun time, man. We're going to have a good time. And then, okay, I'll also discuss with Tug what me and Nick kind of talked about, too. Because it's going to kind of bounce back and forth between what is actually going on. So, all right, here we go. All right, let's welcome Tug to the show. By the way, let's welcome Flux in the chat. What's up, baby? How you doing? Lofty's. Why the hell's Lofty here? I thought you died. I thought you died a long time ago, Lofty. Why are you in here? All right, we're almost 1,000 likes already. Make sure you give it the up doodle. All right. So we're going to cover a lot of stuff, and we're going to cover talking with Nick. Nick does know I'm doing this show. I already told him. So he knows this. So Nick already knows about this because people were like, how could you? I'm like, no, Nick knows I'm doing it. I told him. I was like, hey, I'm going to do a show tonight. I'm going to talk about you. I'm going to talk about, some optimism, some positive things. And I'm also going to, I want to talk about the whole situation. And he's like, cool. He's like, cool. I don't remember what he said, but he didn't say, fuck you. So, Mr. Rogers says Nick would want you to grift this. You've always been a bro. Hope everything works out. Whoever leaked private conversation will get what they deserve. You get what you fucking deserve. Good luck on your next race. Get the top 10. Thank you. We have 2 this year. Let's try to get a 3rd one at Iowa. Oh, yeah. Thank you for the red boy. You are now on the car. Mr. Roger for Iowa. Mr. Rodgers. All right, buddy. Thank you so much for your red boy, dude. I appreciate that. What's up, Tug?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm relaxed. Man, I tell you what, something about, okay, so I've been traveling, right? 7 weeks in a row. Almost, well, there was 1 week off, and then there was 2 weeks before that as well, where I've been racing. It's been crazy, and then I get 2 weeks off, and I'm like, man, I really look forward to streaming.
You're like, what the hell am I to do?
Yeah,
man,
nice.
I got that. I'm home alone, man. Kids are visiting, fucking the grandparents. So I'm like, heck yeah, I'm just gonna chill tonight.
Yep. Thomas. I love this meme. I don't care how it became a thing. I just fucking love this
I was
meme.
laughing about that earlier, man.
I love this.
I
every time I see it, I laugh so hard.
Yeah.
Well, no matter what it's about. Like, oh my God. Anyways, so yeah, I talked to Nick. I talked to Nick today, and yesterday, and I was, I had to say the shit that I didn't want to say, because when I saw his name pop up, I was like, oh, fuck. Here we go. I gotta talk. I've been kind of dreading it because, it's just how it is. What it is. The whole situation's fucked, regardless of if you what side you're on. I guess I'm trying to be the most partial I can be because this is a person that I care about. And some of this stuff, these charges, what's the allegations, pretty fucked up. So, I'm trying to remain partial because I see there's a lot of people jumping left and jumping right and go fucking crazy, and I'm trying to hear everybody's shit. So I talked to Nick, and Nick was like, "Hey, man," he reached out to me and he's like, "Hey, he said you're a bro, and if you're saying really negative stuff about me, I don't mind. You're a bro, basically." And I was like, well, I'm really not. I mean, my Monday stream was pretty much about what you would expect. And I was like, I think you should take accountability because there's obviously some shit going down, especially like with, he knows, I know, we all know, like, we know each other in real life. So I'm like, there just needs to be some accountability. There needs to be some personal accountability. It doesn't have to be a post on Twitter or this is blah, blah. It doesn't have to be, just some personal accountability. Sit yourself down, focus on yourself, fight for your family, and improve, because there is no before anymore. There's only the after. We're in the after now. Yeah. So you got to look inside yourself and just fucking take accountability. And he was right there along with me. Like, he was like, basically in a kind of agreeing, which is the first time I've seen, and not about any specific thing or charge or allegation or anything. He was just, I agree, I'm fucking fighting for my life right now. And when I said accountability, he was right on board with that. And that's the first time I've heard this since all this happened, right? Like, it was pretty much like, this is all a giant government conspiracy. This is all a lie. This is bullshit, right? And that's kind of why I was like frustrated Monday. I was like, this is fucking sucks. I need something to happen where, I know that somebody knows that they're on the right path, at least in some frame or shape or form, right? And that's kind of what I got from, a tiny part of the conversation.
It's hard watching a friend fucking self-destruct, dude. I mean, it's rough.
It is.
It's rough.
It is. And like I said, I was watching it. Baruka girl says Nick was kind of agreeing. Sounds kind of sus. Yeah, I'm being vague on purpose. But anyways, we've known about this for a long time. Well, I shouldn't say we know anything, but I was watching him, kind of deteriorate, losing weight. Streams kind of just being sporadic, just ranty and weird, and because I've been watching, I support all my boys. I pull my stream up in the background or on one of my monitors, and I'll try to support everybody out, that I'm friends with, and I like everybody's show usually. And we've all noticed that Nick's show's got a little strange, and kind of seems like he doesn't want to be on stream. He wants to get off as fast as possible. He doesn't want to be here, and I get it. But what is there that you're wanting to do? So I think that kind of was answered with this whole explosion last week. I think we kind of understand. We can all the picture has been painted of what it kind of looks like. So, and again, I've known a lot of stuff for a long time, and when I saw all this happen, I was like, well, this happened faster than I thought it was going to happen. And then there was people yelling at us. It's very convenient. It's very, very convenient that you were setting up an intervention 3 days before. And I was like, bro, I have the DMs. I ain't gonna leak them. But yeah, there was talks about something like that, but it never came to fruition because this shit happened so fast.
It did, man. Like,
yeah.
Everybody. I mean, there was an army of people that were talking about it. Like, as I said before, I said this the other night, I was really impressed because a lot of the people, like, some of them can't stand each other, man. Some of them absolutely hate each other, but everybody was like, hey, there's a problem with Nick. Let's see if maybe something can happen. Yeah.
I was like, let me know. And I talked to Drex, and I was like, let me know if I gotta get a plane ticket tonight, because we'll do it. Let's go. And then it was 2 days later, it should happen. I was like, well, fuck, that was crazy timing. But then we now know that they apparently were watching for about 6 or 7 days, because that report happened on the 16th and the arrest didn't come till the 23rd.
Yeah.
So they were watching, and all it took was that one stream, man. That fucked up stream.
Yeah, they were watching this stream.
Yeah, they used that stream as part of the reason to get the actual warrant. It was mentioned in like the warrant report. It was like, there was a stream and it showed this. I was like, holy shit. They even mentioned like the white powder on the nose thing. I was like, God damn, they didn't miss shit, did they?
It's because, it's because they were going after, we've talked about kids, child safety. They weren't looking at child safety. They were looking at a fucking kicking the door in for drugs. That's what they were going for,
Yeah.
Anybody who thinks that too, they should ask themselves, well, if they were worried about child safety, why'd they wait 7 days?
Yeah, that is strange. And that's actually that's actually part of the conversation I had with Nick. So very, very weird stuff going on there. But then there's the actual body cam footage, which is coming, because right here you can see there was a request made. It says, I just spoke with our department head and the case is being investigated. At this time, it's still an open investigation. I also contacted the forensic staff that handles body cam footage and received a rough estimate of the fee to release it, which is $60 an hour. So there's 50 hours. So the fee is $3,000 and it needs to be paid before it can be released. And from the other streams I've been watching, that seems to be soon. And there's also people that are saying it's not going to come out, but it also says, or there's people saying that it's coming out immediately, right?
Some people ask too, am I saying the police didn't care about the kids? I'm saying it this way. If the primary concern was the kids, they would have sent CPS in a day.
Yep.
That's what happens. Mandatory reporter goes in, CPS knocks on your door, you have the right to refuse or whatever, talk, and they can come back with a warrant. But they didn't. They took 7 days to investigate that. So you draw your own conclusions there. Right? And, I'm not saying there wasn't a child safety concern, but they noted at the bottom that immediate, in that new document that just came up, they noted that it wasn't the immediate concern. They built a freaking warrant based on drugs. That's why they went to the home.
Yep. 100%. And the fact that they waited 6 days is very important. And when I talked to Nick, it seems to be there's a reason why. And, but yeah, I won't get too specific on that. But, anyways, so as you guys know, there's been a giant report. I'm sure you just read that on your show. A new report that was released, and this mentions some pretty crazy shit. And I'll pull that up in a second. But yeah, the thing is, and I try to think about how to word this, but they're in the DMs that were leaked. The DMs that were leaked, Nick is pretty much desperately trying to show and very angry about the fact that people were implying that there was any issue with the kids, right? That's kind of what the point he was conveying. And with, what I've talked to him about, I think it's been, and this is, look, I don't really know. We don't really know. But from what I've gathered, in the next couple days, I think we'll know a little bit more, and it might be blown out of proportion just a little bit. I mean, it is, the charges are neglect, right? So there's not abuse or anything like that, or like physical or sexual.
Yeah, that is still abuse. Neglect is abuse.
Right. But just
it's not
specifically
physical or
physical or
SA,
sexual. Yeah. So it may be blown out of proportion. I don't know. I think we'll find out here in a couple of days, though, from what I talked about. So, but if that so this is the most damning thing, is when the body cam footage comes out. If the body cam footage comes out and there's some fucked up shit on it involving children, yeah, that's fucked. So
no matter what, like if you're talking about drugs or anything else, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that is not harmful to kids. That is fucking harmful to kids, very much so. I'm just saying, like, the police. Man, I'm a mandated reporter. If I call in, I want somebody to go there now. Man, go to that fucking house right this second. That's the way.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. Everybody, like I said, people take that like as you're defending something. Or, man, this is a totally fucked up situation.
Right.
And
yeah. And I think, and I 100% think that if some stuff comes to fruition and there is some negative stuff involving children, I don't even know what to say. It's kind of like I'm with Vic Mignogna on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, I guess that's it, because once you get into that now, and there is also the side of it about how, addicts do some crazy shit, and a lot of people, and you can tell by looking at the chat or looking on Twitter, a lot of people have never dealt with an addict, and that's not anybody's fault. My brother died in 2017. My sister almost died 4 fucking times from overdose. She's good now. She's been sober for a long time. And nothing they do is rational. It's all insane. It's everything they do is absolutely off the walls, batshit insane. They're completely different people. They don't have the same personality they used to do, and you can see that change in them swiftly. And I've noticed that. even in this situation. Does that excuse any situation that might affect children negatively? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's just that we don't really know the full story yet. And I think if it does come to that, if it does come to where there's an issue and there is fucking evidence and there's body cam footage and there's some bad shit happening with children, yeah, fuck them. Not the children. Like, obviously, fuck them kids. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the opposite. Like,
no, I mean, if you're dealing with an addict can't take care of themselves. So they're,
Right.
I mean, they're not going to be able to take care of their kids. I mean, hopefully that would be an obvious statement.
That's yeah, 100% what I'm saying. But it doesn't absolve anybody of any guilt. You know, they're right there. They're the people. They were the people that are supposed to be doing the thing they're doing. And things has happened and got to this point as a result. And I saw a post about Aaron and April being arrested. Fucking Ethan Ralph posted that. There's no truth to that, obviously, right?
I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, I saw a post earlier, and it was April Amholt and Aaron Amholt to be arrested and charged. That Ethan shared it, and then Legal Mindset apparently claimed it, but then Legal Mindset commented on it and said, "Yeah, I absolutely did not say that." Apparently, there is possible charges that could be brought or something, but I didn't look into it enough. You know, Grifty says charges are endangerment, not neglect or abuse.
People are asking too, how do you know it's conspiracy? I'm not saying it's conspiracy either. There's not, absolutely not saying that either.
Yeah. And we'll go into the report as well, because there's some stuff in the report. There's also a lot of people are saying the body cam footage is going to reflect what's in the report, and it probably will.
Yeah.
And maybe it won't, maybe it will. But there's somebody in the chat said it, where there's like a little girl asking for clothes, and she said she hasn't, had clothes for over a day. She's been wearing the same clothes, and she's requesting clothes. So, that's kind of something that if you see on the body cam footage, that's going to be fucked.
Oh, it's going to be.
Yeah.
Like it just reading through the report and imagining kid answers the door, police are there, kids saying, "Hey, I'm told not to answer the door to the strangers." So they knock down the door. They have police enter. They're telling people to come here. They're calling the kids in the basement. One kid's asleep, apparently wakes up, comes up there after they're yelling down for them to come up, and they take their hand and walk them out. That's fucking tragic, man.
It's brutal.
It's horrible.
It's absolutely brutal. And we'll pull that up. I'll go ahead and pull that up now. I thought I did. And I just forgot about it, Tug. See, this is why I'm not a good streamer. I just completely forgot that I already had this open twice. So here it is. Where'd it go? Where is it at? Oh, wait. Where the hell's the window at? I can't even find it. What have I done? Bad streamer. Apparently, this window I have open doesn't count as a window. Oh, there it is. Okay. Here it is. Here's the report right here that I have just zoomed in all the damn way. So this begins it, and of course we already have the charges. All the charges: the neglect or endangerment of a child, neglect or endangerment of a child. I haven't really looked into the gun charges, and I mean Nick put that in the DMs, which were leaked, which sucks. And that was when Legal Mindset was like, he's posting about guns. I hope no one leaks this. Wink, wink, wink. Over and over. And I'm like, God damn it. No, it's going to be leaked. I already know it's going to be leaked.
I hated the only thing I hated with the leak, I didn't see the post that started that. So, there were two posts that, like I said, it didn't give the context on how this thing started up. And when they leaked out on Twitter, it wasn't in order. So
yeah. Very, very strange, man. But anyways, this is stuff we already know. We read this yesterday, right? It was or Monday.
Yeah.
There was the cocaine scooper right here. Not tested for cocaine, just cocaine scooper. It's branded with cocaine. But here, can you tell me where the actual new stuff starts, or is it right here?
It'd be in the details, yeah.
Okay. So this is the Detective Gwen Pomploon has been made aware by Sergeant Dave Nestor of the Family Services report from a mandated reporter regarding Nick and Kayla Rekieta. I reviewed Sergeant Nestor's initial report. I was reviewing further information in relation to this investigation. After reviewing that information, I applied for a search warrant, which is the Rekieta residence. And none of this is apparently redacted, which is great. So none of this is apparently redacted. So here we go. I just fucking clicked it off Twitter and downloaded it. So let's find where they. Okay, it says we arrived on the scene and we're knocking on the door on the south side of the residence, and we're able to gain a response from a young female juvenile from within the residence, who advised us.
They actually arrested him before this, right before.
Yeah, he was driving, right?
Yeah. So there's two police officers that have stayed with him. The other police officers are going to the house. So that's where you pick up right there.
So was he pulled over like for a traffic stop?
No, it's part of this. They pulled him over. They searched him, and he was held there. They bring him over later. They actually mentioned. Like right here. Well, you'll get to this part right here if you read on. You'll see.
Okay. It says, so we were met with a young juvenile, female juvenile. We noted there was a keypad on the door and attempted to make radio contact with either Chief Bauman or Sergeant Nestor. When I overheard the radio communication from Sergeant Nestor advising that Nicholas was not going to give us the door code to open the door, this was after several moments and an appropriate time for an adult to make it to the door, at which time Detective Ardoff, utilizing a ram, opened the door, causing minimal damage to the door. Well, at least there's that. Like they put that in the report. It wasn't minimal. It's fine. You know, it didn't damage it too much. Don't worry about it. While making entry into the residence, I observed Sergeant Swanson was standing in the kitchen and was making commands for someone to walk towards him. I was holding on the stairway to downstairs and observed two females came from a hallway on the northern part of the residence towards Sergeant Swanson. They were detained and brought outside. There were two children located on the upstairs floor. We were advised that there was one child downstairs by Kayla, and the other female who was detained was April Amholt. They were moved outside, and eventually, while making loud commands in the basement from the top of the stairs, I observed a juvenile male walk out. I advised him to walk up the stairs, which he complied and went out and stood with his mother. And you know, we're going to assume this is all going to be on the body cam footage, right?
Yeah, you would assume so,
right? So I continued searching the residence, and we located an additional juvenile female in the basement bedroom who was apparently sleeping. I advised her to walk out with me to her mom, which she agreed to. She held my hand, and we walked outside. 4 children were placed outside with their mother, as well as April Amholt. The children located in the residence were his children's names. And Chief Bauman advised that they were going to have Nick travel to the residence as we executed the search warrant. We continued clearing the residence and were able to have the residence secured. The residence was extremely cluttered. There were clothes everywhere, dirty dishes, dust, and an overall dirty home, which is kind of like my house. Not really. I haven't made. I'm just lying. Now, going in my 20s, though, holy shit, it was awful. In my 20s, now I'm at home like 3 days a week, so I just get a maid to come in and she does it. Says I overheard Nick arguing with Chief Bauman in front of the house, demanding that he receive a copy of the warrant, which at the time I handed him a copy of the search warrant, saw him look at it, and eventually throw it to the ground. The house is a very large house, almost 5,000 square feet. We started searching the master bedroom where almost immediately Detective Brannis located a short tube, black vial on top of 2 credit cards. Those items are listed above. The snort tube was tested positive for cocaine. Inside the black tube was a noticeable amount of white powdery substance, which also field tested positive for cocaine. Just for the cocaine, man. So where's the part in this report where the little girl asked for clothes? Because that was something new that I noticed.
I don't remember seeing that, to be honest.
God, I could have sworn I read that I saw that on Legal Mindsets show. Could be wrong. Anyways, so at this time, it was determined that Nick, Kayla, and Abraham Holt were all placed under arrest and transported to the jail by marked county deputies, as well as a state trooper, Josh Munson. While placing Nicholas in the state trooper squad, I observed several injuries to his arms and photographed them. They appear to be sores common with control of the substance users. The mandatory report included somebody saying something about track marks, but they never found any like syringes or anything. So what is that about? And I couldn't imagine. I've never even relatively heard of Nick doing anything remotely like that. So that was, I think it was just the mandatory report thing. That's what like makes it like, it feels like some of these allegations feel, oh, well, he had track marks. That makes it worse, right? Which we don't even know.
Would a person know the difference between picking and track marks too?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
I mean, it's all rough. You look at it, you're like, holy crap, what's going on?
Yeah. Well, it's probably track marks, right? I've never seen them, but it's probably that. During this time, Detective Oakleaf advised me that she spoke with Kayla regarding giving a statement, at which Kayla advised that she wanted to have her attorney present. Detective Sergeant Brandis attempted to take a statement from April after reading her Miranda warning. She indicated she wanted an attorney as well. All making the right choices here. Deputies continued to search the residence, and the above listed physical evidence was located and taken into custody. Arrangements were made. The grandparents were going to secure the residence. We were able to close the door, and we documented the damage to the door. All the officers left the scene approximately at 11:05 hours. I'm dumb. I can't read military. I can't pronounce military time, but I can read it because it's on my phone. I only use military time. So it says, I traveled back to the enforcement center where the above listed evidence was processed. I went to the county jail and requested Nick Rekieta to speak with me. He indicated that he was willing to do so. I brought him to an interview room with the county law enforcement center. He was again read his Miranda warning. He agreed to speak with us and waived his rights to a counsel, which is interesting. During our conversation, he refused to answer any questions regarding any cocaine use or any controlled substance use. He advised me that he resides in the residence and stays in the master bedroom with Kayla. He indicated that April Imholt was just a friend and was visiting and does not live at the residence. He explained that he is extremely stressed out in regards to his 5 kids and their extra activities, which is what he says on stream. I don't know if that works in a police situation, but please see audio recordings for further details. So something that's interesting in this is that he indicated April was just visiting.
Yeah. And that actually, so if you go to the next paragraph, now keep going down. Like read that next little part that's right under it. No, go back to where you were. Yeah, just read that. Read there.
Okay, it says, I was advised after this interview that Alicia Sweep had contact with Kayla, requesting if their live-in nanny, Shani Bitson, would be available to assist with anything at the residence. Sweep was advised by Kayla that technically April Imholt was their live-in nanny.
Live-in nanny.
Yeah, so that kind of fucks this statement right up here.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Well, maybe that's that. Maybe that's an advice about not talking to cops.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how you. What do they say? I've watched a lot of movies, right? Before you go in, you all get your story straight, and immediately there's your one discrepancy, because that's how I was assuming that her charges were dropped, because she technically doesn't live there, and I'm like, bro, come on, and this is Sergeant David Nestor. So all of them have. Here's where he was driving. So it says, Sergeant Nestor assisted at a drug search warrant. While en route to the search warrant, I was advised by Detective Pomplin to stop a motor vehicle that the person of interest regarding the search warrant was on. So this is where Nick was actually driving. He was driving a black Lincoln bearing Minnesota license plate. I stopped the motor vehicle at Co Road 10 at 51st Street. The driver was identified as Nick. I advised Nick about the warrant and search of his person. At the time, Chief Ballman was with me. Nicholas was advised that the warrant was signed by a judge. His response was, "That don't mean shit." That does sound like
right.
Nick.
Yeah,
that's what Nick would say.
That really does. It sounds like him.
That's funny. And one of the probable cause for the warrant, while conversing about the topic, Detective Pomplin was asking for the door code so they did not have to breach the door at the residence. Nick advised me that he was not giving me shit as he hadn't seen the warrant. I advised Detective Pomplin we did not get a door code. I checked Nick's person. He was wearing flip-flops, shorts, and a shirt. He had ID, credit cards in his wallet. At the time, he went back to his vehicle, which also had his daughter. I'm in the passenger seat because he was presumably taking her to school. We went back to the residence, and I assisted the scene by standing near Nick and Kayla, April. While assisting and keeping the 4 children occupied outside of the residence, Cecilia, which is one of the daughters, when asked about getting clothes, she wanted new clothes as she made reference to the fact that she'd been wearing these clothes for more than a day. I was asked to transport Kayla to the county jail. I advised her that she'd been placed under arrest. I placed restraints in front of her, checked for tightness, double locked and adjusted. And why is that the end of the report? Why is there not more? There's more. There's got to be more. All right, let me find it. Yeah, so that was the sentence I was talking about. It's where it says that the daughter wanted new clothes and made a reference to the fact that she'd been wearing those clothes for more than a day. So that's something that if you see, if you see that on body camera, you'll be like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked. That's what is the word? Unforgivable. It's one of the it's pretty fucked. And again, addicts, they fucking act, they do crazy shit, man. It sucks. And like I said, it doesn't excuse anything. It's hard to say. When I was growing up and my siblings were they were blitzed out of their mind, dude, always. I fucking hated them for that. I hated them. And I did for years until I was in my 20s. And then, when my brother died, it was like, whatever. And I was getting older and older and older. And, kind of realizing what was going on and what these things make you do. Because, my sister is the most normal, chill, cool girl in the world now. And she was before all this when we were kids. But, like, in the middle of that, and she was on something all the time. Dude, she was, like, mean as a snake. She was just a different person. It was crazy. It's fucking, I can't even begin to explain how weird and strange it does, because a lot of people don't realize that. But I mean, like, again, I gotta say, it doesn't excuse anything. And in some ways, fucking, for me personally, it just makes me even more angry. I'm like, fuck, how'd you let this happen again? Because it's happened in my life so many times with people I know. Frozen toy.
It's easy to kick yourself on that stuff, man. When I was like, Jesus, man. I didn't realize it was this bad, dude.
Yeah. Well, when I saw the initial like drug charge, I was like, okay. I kind of saw this coming, and a lot of people can't tell, and I don't know if it's because people haven't been around drug users, or people are addicts or whatever you would want to say. But people will be like, yeah, I had no idea until like he got arrested. I'm like, what do you mean you had no idea? What do you? And that's the people that are in the chat. They're like, they kind of do take everything at face value. It's like, oh, I was on a diet. I'm like, what? Like, and the people in the chat are just like, yeah, well, okay, I believe that. I'm like, what? You believe that? What the fuck? So yeah, it's just a lot of people have, like Kurt. Yeah, Kurt in the chat said he had no idea.
I mean, like I haven't talked to Nick in a while. It's he distanced himself from everybody. It's not like for me, you guys like chit chat and stuff, man. I don't DM you know that. Like I DM people, but I don't hit you up on your phone. That's like past the boundary for me. So, I thought, I don't know. And he didn't look good. I mean, but I hadn't seen him in a while. The content and stuff, like I don't know. I don't cover the same thing. Like I wasn't interested in the conversations that were going on over there.
Right.
And, yeah, I mean, you do you, whatever. I don't give a fuck. But that's, I'm talking about cases and whatever.
Yeah.
But I hadn't talked to him in a long time. And then I saw that last live stream. That was bad. Man, that was really bad.
Yeah, there was another one. That was pretty bad. That was one of the worst I've ever seen. There was actually one like 2 months ago or a month ago that was pretty bad too, but it wasn't that bad. He got real fucked. That was the Dear John one, which I thought was. I remember watching that live and I was like, "Oh, this is fucked. Oh, this is fucked. Oh God, this is gonna be bad." and I know like there's a part of me that understands, Nick's. He's kind of doing a bit, but it's not coming over very well because he's been drinking a lot. And then also there might be a lot of truth to it as well because also been drinking. So I was like, oh fuck, it's gonna be bad. And that was like the beginning of it. And that everybody was talking about the Dear John thing. And then of course, this last stream, and then everybody knew then. Everybody knew. Well, we got some great GIFs out of it, that's for sure. Frozen Toy says, releasing a DM is lame, but how about don't talk in a group DM when you have charges pending on? Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, man. That's what I was saying when I saw the DM pop up and I saw like the whole wall of text from Nick. I'm like, no, this is definitely this is gonna come out. There was a lot of people in that group, man.
Yeah, 28, man.
28 people, man. I maybe say that in a group of 4 people that very personal, maybe, and even then I don't know. But he needs to shut up about it in any form, and it could be used against him, and he knows this. And I think he's heeding that now from my conversation with him. I think he's like, all right, it's time to work, right? It's time to work towards, something better, because you know, it's kind of hard to rationalize your way out of a lot of this stuff. You know, and I don't even think it's like the drugs anymore. I think the primary concern is the kid thing. You know,
that's what was in that late DM, man. I mean, if you look at it, that's
we're gonna
take it
pull
into task, man.
Shit, I saw it live. I was reading that shit.
Yeah, me too. I was like, holy shit.
I was like, oh, why did you post this? But I'll pull it up in a second. Thank you, Frozen Toy. I appreciate you, dude. And let me hit some of these. Pam Roning says, for Mole 23, I spoke without being sensitive. Please forgive me, love. This podcast, especially the opening. Thank you. I love you. For Mole 23, thank you, Pam, for your orange boy. Thank you. Mount Charon says, Nick was right. All online communities will eventually turn into infighting and become catty BS. Didn't like the glee of mindset showed about all this. He does seem kind of excited. But also, there's like 10,000 people watching this fucking show. So maybe a little bit of that's leaking over. See the viewership numbers and like, yeah. Oh, and also, yeah. Like, oh, shit. You know, I don't know. But no, I mean, that's true. And I don't necessarily think this is one of those cases, Malcharan, where a community is just infighting because of, you know, some bullshit that they disagree with. This is some pretty heinous allegations, some pretty heinous charges. So I think this is probably the most believable scenario where a community would break down, right? We didn't just disagree because a comic book may or may not have sucked. You know, this is pretty fucked up. This is real life shit, and that's what I was, you know, talking to Nick about. I'm like, this is real. You know, this is some real shit, and dude, this is bad.
Look, it's heated too, man. When people are talking about, okay, what does this mean legally? And, you know, I mean, I'm like, well, fuck legally, man. And the dude is in bad shape. Well, maybe he can't go to rehab because, well, who gives a shit? Go to rehab.
Yeah.
You know?
That'd be your first thing. And now is the issue that if you go to rehab, then you're admitting and like hurting your case when it comes to the drug charges?
A couple of lawyers said, you know, whatever you do after the fact, that doesn't do that. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. I wonder how that works into plea deals. Like how, you know, you can put that as part of it. You know, can you do that now and then call it after the fact? I don't know. I just know, like, again, main focus, family.
Yeah.
All of this just mess. You know, the best thing, if he can take care of himself, then again, maybe he can take care of other people.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing is, I mean, it's common knowledge that he doesn't have his kids, right? So,
yeah.
And I didn't know that because I'm stupid, you know.
Well, you know, people were mad about that, and I was like, you know, obviously you're gonna have CPS involvement, like you're gonna have one of the agencies come in, and that was mentioned in that brand new report. They actually talked about that.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. So when I talked to him, I was like, you know, there needs to be accountability, and you know. And I was like, but what you should do is fucking stay offline. I was like, just completely stay off social media. Stay offline. This is real life now. And I was like, you have your family around you. Focus on your family. And in the most heartbreaking message I've ever read, because I didn't know, because I guess I just wasn't paying enough attention. And I'm not very smart, because I just assumed that his kids were just back because now he's out and these charges are, you know, currently being under investigation. So nothing's happened yet. And because I'm dumb. And he was like, oh, dude, like he said they took my kids, man. Yeah. And I was like, oh, fuck, man. That sucks.
That should be the biggest fucking wake up call that this is serious, though.
Yeah. Yeah. And that kind of broke my heart. It broke my heart for him. And it broke my heart just in general. Anybody losing their kids. And I know a lot of people are pissed at Nick, and I get it. But when you're talking to a friend and they say that sentence to you, unless you like just absolutely abhorrently like hate the person now, like I can't see how you wouldn't be like, fuck, that sucks, man. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I've got 2 kids, man. I can't imagine. I can't.
I agree, man.
Like that's one of the things reading about, you know, like a 6 to 16. I'm like, man, you know, I got a 4 and a 10-year-old. You know, I can see them in God, it's awful to think of.
Yeah. And Ross Wright in the chat says you need a wake up call sometime. And I'm right there with you. I agree.
They are with grandparents, by the way. That is noted too. So they're not in the sense, thank God.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he told me. He was like, yeah, there were the grandparents. And I'm like, well, fucking at least there's that, you know. So Allie writes, says SpaghettiOs, BOs, and re-wearing clothes. I hope you didn't mean for that rhyme. Equals a lot of kids. Anyone growing up poor with one parent, kids ask for clothes. Maybe you shouldn't want to leave in PJs. I'm not defending your outrage. And I see that perspective. A lot of kids, a lot of stuff going down. But also, there's like a little thing dangling here in the corner. And that's like mountain of drugs. So like it makes it seem worse, right? So, okay, if you went into a house and there was a single mom and there was 5 kids, and you just went to the house and the house was destroyed, and the mom's disheveled and she's fucking running back and forth, the kids like, fuck, I'm hungry, I want some new clothes. You would be like, damn, this is kind of fucked up. She needs some help and she needs to refocus her priorities. That would be like how you look at the situation. This situation is a little different because there was a mountain of drugs over here. And obviously, drugs will change the dynamic of everything, especially when they're, being used heavily, allegedly. So that's what makes it worse. Because if you're like, for example, if you're driving a car and you run a red light because maybe you're not paying attention and you hit a van and you kill 2 children, that's bad. But accidents happen. Now they measure your drug alcohol or your blood alcohol level, and it's past legal limit. Now it's really bad. So it's worse now because there was a substance involved. You know what I'm saying? Which means it could have led to this situation happening altogether. And I think that's what the issue is. Thank you, Allie Rats. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. My point is, if clothes and hunger is a standard for removal, a lot of parents will lose their kids, including addicts. Yeah. Depressed people or poor people. Sure. Yeah. I don't disagree. But I also don't think that's the situation. Thank you, Allie Rat. I think it's a little bit more extreme. Thank you, April. Narinal MD says addiction privacy laws are stricter than HIPAA. Never has any prosecutor been able to pierce that. It's not true. Not going to rehab is deadly advice. So you're saying go to rehab. So that it couldn't hurt the situation at all. Is that what you're saying?
It's actually an MD too, for real. So, addiction runs a addiction center. I forget how many you said. So,
well, then that should be his first move. If applicable, it should be his first move. Yeah. So, and I'm sure he's considering that from what I talked to him. I mean, that wasn't really mentioned, but there's some accountability there, I think. So, thank you, Naira Papald. Prime Clement says, Chris Clement says, prime example of why you don't go to church. I will say, now look, I ain't religious, so you know how my opinion is on this. But I will say, all the girls, the freakiest girls, like the girls that would come over to my house and drop the draws within 5 minutes, they were all hyper religious. I don't know what it is, man. I can't explain it. I'm sorry. Look, maybe it's just a pattern I've noticed. And maybe it's just not true, but I've noticed that. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you. Grifty! The church gossip and investigation approach can be disingenuous, and Nick can still have a problem he needs to deal with. Dude, Grifty, yes. Yeah, 100%. I agree. Right there with you. So, now, that being said, there was a video posted of Nick. It was like security footage of the church. And, like, Nick is, like, jiggling his leg or whatever. He's like shaking his leg, and it's like, Nick.
I haven't seen that.
It's like Nick, yeah, it was like Nick uncontrollably shaking. And I'm like, I'm gonna be completely honest. I jiggle my leg when I'm waiting for a race and I'm sitting in the hauler. Dude, my right leg is going at 1,000 miles an hour. Am I on drugs? No, not at all. I take pre-workout sometimes, but I don't take them on a race day at all. It's gotta be terrible. So I don't know. I think that's a little bit kind of reading into things a little too much, Although he was probably trashed. I don't know. I mean, if there's like a softball size of coke hanging around, maybe. But I don't think that's as a result of that. Thank you, Grifty. Fantastic. I feel like Tally. You have no idea what's going on. Thank you, fantastic. Well, a quick rundown for the people in the bleachers. A guy I used to do a show with a lot, Nick Rekieta Law. And I did it on his channel. He was arrested last Thursday, I think. Yeah, last Thursday on drug charges and a child endangerment or neglect charge. where they found they found 26 grams, I think, of cocaine, or it could have been everything was 26 grams. They found a lot of drugs.
That's including baggies and other stuff. Those are weighed in. So.
Yeah. So that being said, yeah. So that's kind of what it's all about now. Thank you, fantastic. Daniel Evans, has been a while since I've been able to hit a live stream. Glad you have it. Glad to actually have time to be back, and I'm right there with you, dude. I'm glad to be back because I've been racing every weekend, and it's really hard to start up a stream because I'm on a plane every other day. It seems like so. And in a few days, I have to go pick up a car and to take it to a wrap shop. So I'm freaking driving 7 hours in a few days again. Thank you, Daniel. Griggsy, good friends don't let friends appear. Pro se. Yeah. Don't represent yourself. That's yeah 100%. 100%. Dryless. Okay, I think I got everything. Yeah, okay. I was trying to catch up with the super chats because I skipped a bunch of them because there was a bunch of giant ones over and over and I kept missing them. Squid says Nick needs to move immediately and stay offline. If bad enough haters have to show up to his house before, now his 2A is gone. Well, his 2A isn't gone until some charges or something it comes to fruition, right? He still has his Second Amendment rights until. How does that work? Do you know, Tug?
He actually doesn't have any guns right now, so.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So, Geeky Candy says, for an addict to become sober enough to move from denial to acceptance of their actions is incredibly difficult. It forces them to accept that they hurt the ones they love, which can lead to more use. No, every time I try to talk to my sister about stuff, I didn't even try with my brother. He was lost cause, man. But my sister, you talk to her, she'd get so pissed, fucking yelling in your face. So I just didn't try. That's when you learn. You learn that you may think you have the ability to change people, and you really almost don't when they're sober. So when somebody's an addict, they ain't happening, man. Because they just see it as you being a piece of shit. And
also, addict. I mean, when you think about the word there, that's not a nice word. Anybody's like, yeah, just an addict, no big deal. Nah, you're calling somebody an addict or a junkie. Fuck, that is.
Yeah, and that's those DMs. That's why they got so heated. Yeah. I'm gonna pull those up in a second too, because I'm well, fuck, they're already out now. Allie Wright says, bottom line, drugs are the problem and not terminally bad parenting. Mom and dad get clean, problem solved. And I kind of agree. This hasn't been an issue until now, right? And even if it is an issue, right? Because like I said, I think we'll know a little bit more about it soon. So thank you, Allie. And also the body cam footage is going to be pretty telling if that ends up popping up somewhere. Twilight Dragon says, could have been worse. One of the kids could have been prepping a lot of coke. Jesus. My college professor had the misfortune of showing up to a client's house and seeing that while conducting a wellness check. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? That's crazy.
I've heard horror stories. I've heard some fucking horror stories.
Yeah, that's weird. It's like that lady that was arrested recently because she only fed her daughter Mountain Dew and nothing else. So, of course, the daughter dies. Just Mountain Dew, dude.
Good God.
So, of course, her daughter dies. And the lady gets arrested. And I'm like, well, why'd you do this? It's like those parents that will strap a kid to a bed and then just, leave them. And then, of course, the child is found and can't even speak. And just can't even walk upright because their body, how it grew. It's fucking crazy shit, man. Thank you, Twilight. I'm not saying anything like that's happening here. I'm just kind of rambling. Shipbird Militia. Cheers to the level bro approach. Appreciate you, dude. Thank you, Shipbro. I mean, Shipbird.
Shipbro.
Shipbro. All right, can I find these DMs in a better order? Because they are in terrible order here.
I know that's what I pulled one of the DMs up on screen and I went to where they came from and just read them because I was like, well, they're all in jacked up order otherwise.
Okay. Yeah, they missed the part where he said Lamau. Or no, he said Raffle.
Yeah.
That's the that's the very beginning is where somebody posted the actual article or the leak or whatever.
Everybody knows it's Flash. I asked him. I was like, dude, I'm gonna say that you arguing with him. Is that okay, Flash? And he was like, fuck yeah, I don't care. You know, his name's in there is like, I mean, it says Flash in one of the DMs. So
Yeah.
you can tell he's arguing with. But I asked him anyway. I was like, dude, I'm gonna make sure. And when I go through this, I'm gonna read them because again, I'm not excusing anything. I wanted the context. Like people are reading it all over the place, and I'm like, no, it's one freaking argument that's going straight through.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I have them in order. God, they're just so out of order, and it's hard to. Yeah.
Just go to the original ones, man. Scroll.
You want me to just go to the original ones?
Yeah, I wouldn't pull them up on the screen. I just pull something up and just read them in order. That's
okay. Yeah, I'll read them. All right, cool. Because when it happened, I took screenshots of them, and just because I was like, I can't believe this shit's happening. I
did. Well, when they got mentioned, when Legal Mindset said he talked about them, I was like, you know what? Yeah, those probably will get leaked. I'm not saying anybody. We don't know who leaked them actually, but 28 people. Yeah, somebody's gonna leak.
That's when when I read it, I was like, oh fuck, here we go. All right, yeah, I'll just read them. So here's the shit. So PPP, his name's Ashton, right?
Yeah,
released a case background where the reporter indicated that 4 people from their church had gone to report neglected children, possible controlled substance use, and a questionable relationship with another couple. I mean, obviously, we know the other couple. It was reported from a church preschool teacher. So, that being said, Flash posted this article because we know Flash is basically the person. And he said, basically, all he said was Nick, ? Basically. And Nick responded with Roffle, ROFL, Roffle, like rolling on the floor laughing. And I read that. I was like, man, I would have responded a different way.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, dude. What
do you do? Like, why are you saying Roffle to this?
You know, that's going to set in it. I was like, man, some people will light that up. I'm like, come on, man. They are going to light
because
you up for that.
Well, because Nick's Roffling, he's laughing at the allegation. Because he thinks it's bullshit, but what Flash sees and what a lot of people see is he's laughing at like the children, like he's laughing at
even if you think they're absurd, man, these are terrible allegations. Just anybody reading them is like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. So he responds with Roffle, and then Flash posted another article that said the Rekieta search warrant has been obtained and posted on the internet. And then that's when Nick responded, it's probably true, right, Flash? ? In like a sarcastic way. And Flash says, bro, I can see in these videos how true it all is. You need help. So you can already tell. Like Flash is fucking pissed. He's like 10 out of 10 pissed now. And probably because of the Roffle. So that says that this is where Nick tells Flash to kill himself. He says, if you think my kids were ever hungry or neglected, kill yourself. And I'm like, this is getting way worse as I read it. I was like, fuck, this is way worse, dude. And Flash, of course, in kind of a reasonable response, said, I don't know what to believe. You've become a junkie, and they're not the most honest people out there. And Nick said, I've been on stream with you where you were too intoxicated to read super chats for hours. I never thought your kids went hungry. And I don't think that's the same thing. Right. So, look, I drink, casually, and I've gotten messed up. Now, I don't know how I'd really, I don't have this perspective because I don't have children. So I can't really comment on that. I might still just do it because, there's going to be another person or 2 other people in the house making sure ends meet. But I don't really, it's not the same. It's not the same situation, right? Drinking versus, being constantly on some kind of stimulant or something.
I mean, again, you got to look at everything that's going on with this too, how this conversation comes up anyway.
Yeah. And then Flash said, I stopped drinking because it was getting so bad. You need to admit you have a problem. And I don't think he said he stopped drinking completely. I think he just said stop drinking in that capacity. And of course, Nick's pissed at the word junkie. And I'm pretty sure anybody would be, right? So he puts in quotations, becoming a junkie. Wow. All right. Thanks, Flash. So, thank you, Karis. I've seen Camelot down his 12th white claw and still somewhat level-headed. I appreciate that. So Flash says track marks on your arm, extreme weight loss. The signs are there. And again, I don't think the track marks I don't think that's real. Because again, they didn't find any syringes, and you're going to find that shit if somebody's doing heroin or something. You're going to find it. So I don't really think that's a thing. And then Nick said, do you know what track marks are, retard? I've never done an IV drug in my life, which I believe. Flash responds with, you're doing cocaine at 8 a.m. with your kids watching cartoons in the living room, which is a very, very specific allegation. So Nick says, what the fuck are you talking about? 8 a.m.? I'm usually driving home at 8 a.m. and about to go to sleep. And Flash just keeps fucking going like hard back. He says, is that driving blasted out of your mind like the report says? God damn, this was crazy when I was reading it live. And of course, people start chiming in, saying that, you know, we're here for you, Nick. Look, fucking, I know this is fucked up. You know, a lot of people are saying that. And I'm not going to say who's saying it, but a lot of people are offering their support in chat.
And people are also saying, dude, look at what the allegation. That's why this is mad. Like, hey, you understand, right? You understand why people are there.
Yeah, 100%. So to the driving blasted out of your mind, Nick says, no, you fucking idiot. No one sees me drive. Flash responds, I know it's hard to see someone when they're driving 88 miles per hour 4 hours after Flash is fucking just...
I was like, jeez.
What the fuck? Yeah, it's hard to see him when you're fucking flying, bro. You're flying, bro. Oh, God, what the fuck? And then, as expected, Nick's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you referring to a speeding ticket? And Flash says, you're the one that was talking about driving 88 past a cop hours after a live stream where you were wasted. Nick says, shockingly not pulled over, not cited for a DUI ever, never even questioned for a DUI ever. Which, yeah, I think that's true. 88's not fast. You telling me, Bailey? Bro, I go 190 regularly in a sanctioned sport, not on the road, obviously.
I do it in circles. What the
yeah, at Charlotte, dude. I did it for 2 hours last week at Charlotte, just blaring that ass. It was fun. So Flash says, anyways, whatever issues exist for me, and I'm not admitting to anything, I figured a friend of mine would maybe realize that my children have never been neglected or in danger, but I guess that's a small courtesy. Or I guess that small courtesy is too much. And I read that, and that's kind of like where I lie. I'm like, man, you want to lean, obviously. Look, you know, I care about Nick. I care about his sobriety. I care about his... I want him to come... I wish him 1 million viewers. You know? I want him to come back. I want him to come back better than ever, get in shape, have fucking a 6-pack, get buff, replace all this shit with the gym, have the biggest streams of his life, all of his kids be successful, and have him have a successful personal relationship, very sexual relationship. That's what I want to see, right? So, you know, that when you feel like that about a friend, once they're like, look, they tell you my children have never been in danger, neglected, or anything, you tend to want to lean to believe them because they're your friend.
What sucks about this, it leaking, you know, people were like, oh my God, what were they calling? What is it? Night letter or whatever it demands. And it's like, no, man, it's two friends, two people. They're arguing. They're like, you know, and it gets heated. Sometimes it does get really heated in some of these areas too. You know, when people think, hey, you don't ever have a conversation with people, you never bring this stuff up. Oh yeah. It just, you know, it happens somewhere else.
Yeah. And friends do this. People that ghost you and just don't talk to you again. Like I've had tiny little beefs, and I mean the tiniest of beefs ever, over like a sentence or something. And the person that it may involve will just, they never talk to me again. And I'll like reach out to them and they will not fucking respond. They'll read it and like never respond again. Those aren't your friends. Your friends will respond and be like, what the fuck is this? And you'll hash it out and then it's over. Right. I've done that with several people in my life. You know, so that's what friends do. Look, shit gets heated. And a lot of people don't know that because their only friends are on the forums, bro. So Flash responds with Nick saying, you know, I figured a friend of mine would maybe realize that my children have never been neglected or in danger. Flash says, I don't know what to believe. You've changed. I just want what's best for you and your family. I want to see you thrive and get better. And I feel like that's a genuine response. A lot of people on Twitter are like, fuck Flash. He's a dumbass. He's disingenuous. I know Flash in real life, and I don't think he is. I think he's
Flash is blunt, man. He's very blunt. And, you know, I like Flash quite a bit.
Flash has pulled me to the side after like 2 drinks and be like, hey, man, I'm so glad you're here. I love you, brother. And I'm like, thank you, Flash. I love you too, man. And I've also seen him scream to a homeless guy he's going to beat his ass. So Flash is pretty blunt, okay? So, yeah, I just think he's just blunt as hell. So then this is when Nick responds. This is after Flash says he, you know, it's just wants what's best for his family. Nick says, all I asked was for you to believe I didn't neglect my children, and the report was maybe made by a vindictive bitch. Whoever that is, I don't know. Ex-nanny, fucking preschool teacher, I don't know. My dad was helping with the driving the other day for our kids' education and extracurricular activities. He tallied it up to 80 miles a day on average. I don't care what people think about almost anything. The kid shit is bullshit. And he's reiterated this to me personally. I'm pretty sure I know who reported that, and they have specific animus towards me. The first activity I missed for my kids was the day I was in jail. And that's something that I kind of got a perspective about, is the charges are the charges, and things, you know, the drug shit, all that, the April fucking Aaron shit, that's all a thing. But Nick specifically saying, look, whatever you think about all this other shit, I never did anything out of the way or endanger my children in any way, shape, or form. That's what he's saying. And I'm inclined to try to lean, even though the reports say some fucked up shit. And they do. They totally do. And the body cam footage could come out and fucking, you know, and prove some of this stuff. And when and if it does, you know.
You think about everything else that's claimed here. I'm not saying like seeing somebody go down a dark road is not bad. But I mean, really, this other shit outside of the kid accusation, this would have been one of those things that gets streamed as people will point, laugh, feel bad, whatever. The kid thing is where things went to a different place.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, 100%. And look, and I want to believe my friend when he says these things. Doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean it's not true, and we'll know soon. And when we know, we'll know. And I'll be like, well, fuck, there it is. Can't do much about it. Right. But, you know, you owe a friend to, you know, try to listen to what they're trying to say. And it could very well have no basis in reality. And it probably does. But as of right now, we just don't know for sure. But the charges, they're there. And there's stuff in that report. That's, you know, the asking for clothes, the disheveled house, the hungry shit. I get it. It's all there.
Some people said, ask the kids. Well, they will. The thing is that it will be somebody with CPS, and you will not see that report. You won't see any of that. Yeah. Michelle says, does he agree with you talking about him after the phone call? Yeah. I told Nick I was doing a show. Yeah.
I said, hey, I'm doing a show about you tonight. You know, and I told him kind of like the theme of the show and whatnot. And he's like, you know, bet. So, anyways. So, another person, says, so this is funny. This is a thing that, people, say that is fake. They're all like, it's very convenient, blah, blah, blah. So somebody says in the DMs that, before your arrest, we were trying to set up an intervention for you. Because we see the change, and some things are more important than online feuds. And I agree. Hey, Raging Rhino, how you doing, dude? So Nick responds, cool, and says, I'm literally talking about bullshit neglect report from a specific vindictive person that is quite literally the opposite of the truth. I'm not talking about anything else. I'm not saying anything else in these DMs pertaining to that. So right there, like, you know, it's like the other stuff is whatever, but he's specifically saying, you know, I'm specifically talking about one thing, and that's the neglect of the children thing. So then he goes on to, after he says he's not going to talk, he talks about guns, which everybody saw. Did that get released? That got leaked, right?
Yeah.
The last part. So then Nick says, no guns were ever discharged in the home. I don't even own a 22. I haven't fired any of my guns since moving from my other home to here, 5 years. And all of them are locked away. Handguns in the safe. AR has a lock through the receiver. And that was the end of the DMs, I'm pretty sure.
There wasn't anything saying that he fired a gun in the house either. Just to note that there hasn't been anything that reported that in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, there was just empty shell casing. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be pretty nasty. It's going to be very, very nasty. But
I hate that leaked. I hate that fucking leaked.
Yeah.
Because again, people looked at that, like I said, and they were saying just terrible things with Nick. And again, Nick is talking to somebody that has known him for a long time. And he's like, look, dude, with anything else, I don't give a fuck what anybody says or talks about, but can you give me the benefit of the doubt with this?
Yeah. And that's specific. So that's a good point. If you're like, look, here's all this crazy shit that's happening. It's bad. But can you please give me the benefit of doubt on this specific thing pertaining to this specific thing? And that's a little bit different. Rage and Rhino in the chat says, people get to the point where they compulsively just lie when they're, addicted. And yeah, 100% I agree with you. So, and we're going to know. I mean, it doesn't really matter if you believe or not believe, or if you want to see it happen, you don't want to see it happen. I don't want to see it happen. But you're going to know in a couple days or weeks or whatever. So, and I'm sure people in the chat be like, you were wrong. I'm like, yeah, I never said it was true or not. I'm saying what I would like to see. Shani, one more month and we're at Tuesdays. Thank you, Shani. Appreciate you. Sean gifted 1 membership. We have 1 membership today. I love you, Sean. Thank you. Robert Sears has been in a 12-step program for a lot of years, gone with a lot of people to court. Judges love rehab completion and meeting attendance cards. That's Nick's best chance of getting his kids back. Thank you, Robert Sears. Appreciate you. Nyrenold says warrant for individual usage, a lot of resources for just usage. I believe Nick was targeted. Doesn't change the fact that his addiction needs help. Do you believe Nick was targeted, Tug?
I don't know. I don't know. I do. I do find it interesting that the judge that he talked shit about for 6 minutes plus is the one that signed the warrant. Again, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know, man. But I did find that to be interesting.
Yeah. Well, Jimmy Cobb says a judge has a conflict of interest. I was thinking about that earlier today. If you can request to get a judge removed because of them being handling another case. Is that possible? Do you know?
You can file because of conflict of interest. It's though how many judges are there or whatever, is there any alternative? Here, I don't know how big where you live is, but here we have a whopping 2 judges. That's it. So.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Anyways, Mr. Rogers and Dralis, by the way, with 2 $100 super chats. I appreciate you guys. You guys are on the car for Iowa. Every $100 super chat is on my car for Iowa in the NASCAR Arkham and Ard series. And going forward, some crazy shit you're going to know here in a couple months. I'm very excited. Very, very excited. And also, there might be a Salamandroid car coming. So keep that on your schedules. I'll announce it when it's maybe going to happen. We'll know. It's going to be pretty quick when it happens. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, so there's a lot going on. So that was the report, and then that was the DMs that were unfortunately leaked. So then Josh Moon put this out, and this when I read this, I was immediately bummed. But also, I don't really know the specifics. Again, I'm not a lawyer. But it says right here, $1,000 for unconditional release so that he does not need to be drug tested, among other limitations. His wife, Kayla, has not. She's out on conditional release. And obviously my immediate thought, and I'm sure it was probably yours and a lot of the chats as well, is, oh, fuck, he did that so he can immediately start doing drugs. Right.
I wonder if he legitimately believes he's being set up. Then I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know where his mind is.
Yeah.
I think
It's
that
hard.
it's accountability though, man. I mean, when you're taken to task, like if you have to piss in that cup or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. I was kind of hoping that he would have a drug test. I was kind of hoping. And this doesn't mean like that. It's just where my mind immediately went, right? My mind immediately went. Sinev says the conditional release would require him to not use alcohol, which his brand is based upon. Well, if it was me, I got to be honest with you. If it was me, I would probably rebrand from the alcohol thing. I'd be done with that. I'd be like, fuck, I'm no longer the alcohol whiskey lawyer guy. I'm now the normal lawyer guy.
Do you think some of this stuff, like I've been listening to lawyers, like I've been listening to them a long time, but I've listened to them on this, since this started. And man, they had the lawyer mindset. They do specifically. Everything goes through that to a degree. Sometimes it's frustrating. And I wonder if the lawyer mindset comes into a lot of stuff that happens too.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. You're talking about like the lawyer mindset specifically from Nick and how he responds.
Yeah. Like when he's looking at this and he's, weighing out options. I mean, he's got to be it's his life. That's what he talks about online. That's what he talks about with everything. So, how does that weigh into? Because I've again, listening to a lot of the lawyers, sometimes frustratingly so, because we're having two different conversations a lot of times,
Yeah. Yeah, Mustang McCracken says Nick's not getting drug tested will lead him right back to where he's at. Nick doesn't need to drink constantly. It's not entertaining to watch somebody self-destruct and slur his speech. I agree. I like the looseness that alcohol can bring to a conversation. But when you start getting real fucked, it starts getting kind of bad. And then when you mix other substances, it gets unfucking fathomably bad. I joined the Jack show when I was pretty drunk. I was about 6 out of 10 drunk a few weeks ago, and all I did was simp on Anna the whole time, and it was hilarious because I love Anna. I think she's adorable, and of course, if the cutest girl in the room when I drink, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, look at you! You're so cute. I love you." That's just how I am. I'm just so I simp real hard, and I talked to Anna about it like 4 days after she came on my show. So we were in the pre-stream room or whatever, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry I simped on you so hard when I got drunk." And she's like, "Oh, it's totally fine." And she's like, "It was because I was wearing a hat backwards. You said that was like your thing." And I was like, "I think it's my thing when I'm drunk. I don't even know that's a thing until I was drunk, I guess." And we were laughing about it and cutting up. It was funny. But hey, these things tend to happen. Real quick, oh no, there we go. What the fuck? Where's Tug? No, go back. Go back.
What's happening?
All right, there we go. So Heyoka. Oh, look, it's fucking early Kyler. It's a good thing he took the bell option. There are a couple of 8 balls of residual sugar that knows his. He couldn't pass the drug test. Oh my god! Well, he could fit a lot of shit in there.
Man, alcohol withdrawal is rough though. Like long-term use alcohol out of anything. That stuff can be life-threatening.
Yeah, isn't it actually encouraged to wean off of alcohol instead of actually just cold turkeying it?
Well, there are things that you can, again, he could go outpatient, talk to somebody. There are ways to deal with the withdrawals, and then there are shots. Like you can take a shot again, Vivitrol. Like Vivitrol, it not only removes cravings, but if you start drinking, man, it'll rock your world. It will make you so sick.
Ooh.
Yeah, you'll never want to drink again. I saw a client talking about that with that he was like, you have no idea. Like it's the worst thing that I've ever experienced.
Jesus, man, that sucks. Heyoka, thank you for your orange boy. I appreciate you. We are now halfway to Fight Milk. Every Red Boys on the NASCAR race car for Iowa that I'm racing personally on Fox Sports 1, by the way. Every race is on Fox Sports 1 the rest of the year. And make sure you guys like the show. We're 100 from 1,000. Close the chat, hit the like button. Stop being a bitch. Okay, stop. Nick Naylor says, I just tagged you on X, something odd. All right, I'll pull it up here in a second. Thank you, Nick. Kathy Trout says, Old MD is pronounced New York Rental MD. New York Rental MD. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate you. I got it now. I got it. Thank you. Becky says, I cannot imagine those two in their house together right now with the kids gone. Stressful nightmare. Yeah. Man, I don't even want, dude, thinking about it like hurts me. And I don't even have children. Tug's got a better grasp on that, like what it would feel like. I can't. Could you imagine being with your significant other who you have all these children with, and then they're just gone, and it's just you guys looking at each other and like facing accountability? Like, what do we do? You know,
I can imagine being without my kids. I've got my kids here, me and them, you know, and that's I can't imagine anything coming between them. I mean, honestly, people call us grifters and everything else. All right, yeah, I do all. I make money so my kids can have better lives. Fuck yeah. So, yeah, ultimately.
That's the idea. Whiskey Sour says, I've seen withdrawal patients intubated because it was so bad. Jesus, man. Like their airway closed up and shit. That's terrifying, man. Billy says, I hope he gets better and rebrands like you did. Now it's just Nick Snake Fight Milk and Racing. Yeah, I don't really drink that much, but I do drink. Like after a race, I'll get out of the race car and I'll go over to, like, there's always like a really giant like festival area right in the middle of the track at almost every track, and I'll have my fire suit on. So when you have a fire suit on in NASCAR, by the way, this is the cheat code. If you have a fire suit on, you don't need badges for security. They're just like, come on in. You're like, I want to go to the top floor of the presidential suite with the free alcohol. And they're like, you just walk in because you have a fire suit on. They're like, oh, he's a race car driver. Get up there so you can go out there. I was in Daytona like that. And I went up to the top floor of this suite, and it was an open bar, free. So I was drinking some whiskey, you know. The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Vivek Ramsey were up there just hanging out. They were standing right next to me. And I'm like, wow, I'm not supposed to be up here. Oops. But they let me in. And then I left, though, because I felt like if they just look at me and be like, wait, who are you? And they just kick my ass. Like, I was scared. You
know what I think is funny, man? When you like get excited about shit, you speak really fast. You know, you're usually like me. Like, we speak really slow. We're Southerners. But when you get excited, you talk really fast like this.
Yeah, I got nervous. I look over and I see Vivek Ramsey and The Rock, and they're just like buddy, like arm in arm, like laughing and cutting up. And I'm like, wait a second, I'm not supposed to be here, am I? So I was like, I like watched the race for like 5 minutes, the truck race, and then I left. So I'm gonna get out of here. Because the security, there was like a lot of like really, really big security dudes there, and they were all looking at me. They kept looking at me and eyeballing me. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to get the hell out of here. Raging Rhino, my boy. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that, my friend. My boy's in here hanging out with you, boy. So anyways, we were talking about that. So Nick paid full $50,000 bond for unconditional release, meaning that theoretically, a lot of people were theorizing that he did that so he could begin to, use immediately. I don't know if that's true, but that was, I'm not going to lie, that was where my mind went immediately. Because that's just what happens. You're like, oh shit, here we go. But then there's also this. So it says right here, my attorney and I are petitioning for the Rekieta omnibus hearing in August to be live streamed. To help our motion, we need to demonstrate public interest. So he made an actual petition to this. The petition already received immediately 1,000 public signatures, and 6 attorneys offered to notarize affidavits in support of the motion. It is very likely that this will succeed. I'd also like to publicly state that I'm trying to get in contact with April Eimholt if she's willing to reach out, which is kind of actually going to be very interesting to see that dynamic. Right? Like how is April feeling in all this? Like, is she pissed? Is she happy? I mean, there was that weird quote where she said, I'm not an addict. This was done to me. Right? At the very beginning of all this.
Does she also have an attorney and they tell her to shut the fuck up?
I don't think so. Well, her attorney was Nick, right?
Yeah, it was. That was for the hearing.
Yeah. I mean, so that was interesting. So I'm like, what is she? Because is she going to just fucking like heel turn and be like, it's all Nick's fault, because he kind of seems like the kind of person. And I don't know. I'm going solely off of vibes, which are probably wrong. She kind of seems like she might just heel turn and be like, this is everybody else's fault, not my fault. And like, fucking grab another branch and swing your ass away. Just kind of get that vibe. I could be wrong,
Have you been watching the lawyers fight it? Man, some of those, boy, they're brutal.
What is it?
The lawyers, man, law team. Have you watched them fighting and stuff? Holy crap!
Oh, yeah, dude. I remember. I think it wasn't Kurt. I don't think Kurt would say that. I think it was Legal Mindset. Somebody said that Barnes, go fuck yourself. He's like, Barnes, you're a dumb. God, they were going ham on him because his argument was the warrant getting approved and how they got the warrant was unconstitutional, right?
Yeah, that's what Barnes was saying. Yeah. He's been, and I mean, it's been getting nasty. I'm looking for a specific freaking
pull
post.
it up. Yeah. I was watching Good Logic talk about it, Joe, and Good Logic went through the entire report, like the warrant and everything.
Yeah.
And he said, I think Good Logic and Kurt, they have really, really like law-based takes where it's like they don't try to get personal about it. They read it with the law in mind. And he said, Joe said, looking at all of this information, I cannot see how this warrant is invalid.
Yeah.
It seems pretty damn solid.
That's led to some fascinating fights there.
It has. It
Here
has.
it is. Let's see. I found one of them. Give me 1 second. Yeah, Barnes and I don't know Barnes either. I don't like. When I bring this up, I'm just laughing at some shit that's happening here. So like this exchange, and I mean, there's been a bunch of these too, by the way. So I mean, it starts out like it's not on screen, but I'll read this part too. There's a bunch of tag-ins. It says like sounds like the children's welfare was used as a pretext to search for contraband to me. Search should have stopped once the children were accounted for or otherwise. So potentially criminal. Sean, he's like, nah, they saw Nick displaying signs of drug use and used the 521 streams as proof. Nick fucked himself. So Barnes comes in and is like, never hire this grifter for your defense lawyer. Only reason guy's got a channel is because of Rekieta, whom he's now grifting off of and tacking. Only a constitutionally illiterate idiot would say you get a search warrant of someone's home based off interpreting a podcast. So potentially criminals like, yeah, he helped me, and then I made my own way. Let me know when you expose the conspiracy to take down Nick. I'm sure the halls of power in Minnesota tremble at Nick's alcoholism. I'm sure you'll have the governor's scalp in no time. And I mean, some of these exchanges, man, they're
ratioed him.
Hot.
He got him too. Sean ratioed his ass. Oh man. It's crazy. And I'm not saying I believe one or the other. I don't think I have the
I'm not a lawyer.
Exactly. I don't think I have an intellect to actually challenge anything, but it is a very interesting exchange. And Sean's went really hard at it. But now, and I will be fair to Sean. Sean's been pretty fucking critical of Nick for a while now. And I think he's been kind of fair critical. Like fair. Maybe a little bit, maybe not a little bit sometimes, but I think he's been more fair than he's been not fair. And I do like that exchange. I think it's funny.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of them like Barnes and apparently Nate the lawyer, like whatever happened with them, Barnes ends up blocking him off of. He was talking about it in the stream. I was like, damn, man. I mean, these people are going hard at each other. And that's because, like you said, people are conflicted. They don't know what to think on it. Normally in a case, we argue about something maybe, but we don't get in. We don't know people personally. Maybe that's a bad thing. I mean, it's a terrible thing that you know this person, but maybe it's a bad thing you can't remove yourself from the equation and look at it.
Yeah, 100%. Wolverine Snack gifted 5 memberships. That's 6 total today. Thank you so much, my friend. The memberships help out a lot because while I'm racing, it still brings in residual income so I don't lose my goofy ass house. Thank you, Wolverine. Love you, dude. Appreciate you. Tater Monkey says to get the kids back, he will have to UA. What is UA? What
urinary analysis is it? Talking about PDAP cup. Yeah, he'll have to. Yeah. There'll be a lot of stuff. I imagine. Yeah, it's speculation. I don't know this for a fact, but they took him. I'm sure there were no contact at first. I don't know if he's been allowed contact, but typically, they'll look at him, they'll establish contact, and that'll be through typically calls or maybe supervised visits. I mean, I would be shocked if they actually release the kids to him.
Yeah. 1 second. Bug Show. I text somebody. I'm doing another show after this, and I was like, I might be a little late because I have a big show going on right now. And then I said bug show, and I'm fucking autocorrect, man. Thank you, Tater Monkey. Texas Red says, if you want some plausible copium hopium about posting unconstitutional bail, Nick did it so he can leave the state to see family in Florida. If that's the absolute truth, I don't know or claim to. And that's a good point. But the issue is why, Kayla's the mother of the children. So wouldn't she do the exact same thing or have the same thing done for her so she could go as well? I don't know. So that's where I would think. And that very much could be true. I mean, there's a lot of factors to this. There's a lot of factors to why posting, unconditional bail. There's a lot. But obviously us being, seeing that shit as the viewer is, oh, well, we know why he's doing that, obviously. But if I try to look from the outside looking in, I try to think, well, there's probably a lot of things that are involved in that.
We have no idea. One day we'll see Nick talk about this, and that'll be interesting.
That's what I crave. I hope one day, a year or 2 or 3 from now, we can look back on this and be like, man, that was wild. That was a wild time, wasn't it, Nick? And he's like, yeah, that was crazy. And then, that's kind of the thing. Somebody said it was Nick Naylor that said he tagged me in something interesting. What is this? Okay, so here, let me look. This is what Nick Naylor said, and he super chatted me, so I'm gonna read this. I don't know what it's about though. It says, this isn't a cope. Rekieta's a coke fiend, but it's real questionable that the search warrant cites his youngest telling a member of the church that she hasn't had a change of clothes in 3 days. Then when they pull Nick over in the middle of him yelling at a random ass cop and telling him to go fuck himself, the same child walks up to a stranger that her dad is clearly pissed at and telling him the exact same thing verbatim. And suddenly the cops are playing fuck games with the body cam. Yeah, I don't know. Well, it wasn't the same thing verbatim. It was 1 day versus 3 days. And, I don't know. If it is the same child that said that, I don't know. And did the child even say it? Well, no, when the body cam footage comes out. But yeah, it is kind of, there's a lot of strange things, and it's because we're just lacking details. It's not, I don't think there's anything nefarious going on per se, not yet. As far as there is very interesting stuff where, in the leaked DMs, there's a vindictive bitch coming after me. Right. So who is this person? And what is their stake in it? And we'll probably hear more about that. We'll probably know. So,
I thought it was shitty they leaked all the names that say would prefer to be anonymous in that one report. Every name is just put right out there. That's awful. It's pretty crazy. Grilton on Rumble says, if you read the warrant, it was not the same child. Okay, thank you.
So this is actually, what's very interesting about the situation is I've never seen something blow up this crazy before. This is the biggest shit that's ever happened. As far as, I don't know, maybe it's just, it's real. I mean, every day you see something about a streamer and they pushed a homeless guy and ran away, and it was trending for a day. But this is real shit. This is real shit. D Dank says, do you think Nick's narcolepsy is a factor in all this? Okay, so I was at the grocery store earlier and I was getting me some delicious ass frosted titty flockas. I love me some Frosted Flakes, man. And I thought about that. I was like, mate, what if the unconditional bond is, our bail has something to do with his narcolepsy? Or would he use that as an excuse? I had both of those thoughts. I'm doing this because of narcolepsy. Also, I'm actually doing this because of narcolepsy, right? Intimidator. Praise Del Rey's help. Since I live in is that South Dakota? Where's the track in Iowa? Don't know what I've planned yet, but I'm curious. That said, I have a question for you. If a basketball player accidentally hits a bird with a ball outside of the first or third baseline, does that make him guilty of foul play? Yes. And I said basketball, but it's baseball. Intimidator, you don't come in here with your dad jokes. I haven't seen you in a month, and you're going to come in here with the dad jokes immediately. Where's the track in Iowa? I do not know, but it's the main Iowa Speedway. So get your Google on. Or I would, but all my monitors are clogged as hell. I'm going to put you on the car, though, Intimidator. You're on the car, my friend. In Tim It Day Tour. You're on there, my friend. Another name to the list on the car for Iowa. Thank you. We have so far 7 names. 7 names on the car for Iowa. We had 67, I think, on the car for Charlotte. Now, granted, that was like a whole month's worth because I kept forgetting to take pictures. I was like, oops, didn't take a picture. I gotta. I'm just gonna keep adding names to it. It was funny. I had them all cut out, like just all over the back. I still made it look pretty good though. Thank you, Intimidator. I appreciate you. Fat Chick Thriller says, when looking back on this with Nick in the future, make sure to mention the wife swap. Oh, by the way, I will say, and this is just me like just saying some shit. I will say I don't get it. I don't know, man. I'm not built that way. When I love pure and hard. And I don't mean that in like a fun way. Like phrasing. Phrasing. If dude, if I saw another girl like mount my chick, I'd be like, even if I'm trying to try it, and then I see dude mount my chick, I'm just gonna be like, well, like, I can't do it, man. I just can't do it. I'll shoot a motherfucker. I can't do that. Ain't no way in hell I could do it. It's something about it. I don't know if maybe it's a southernness in me, but like that's my way.
I don't see that going over very well. No.
Now, as far as women though, I have 3 women looking like cream off me. That's great, but I could not have another man penetrating my woman. I would fucking kill her. I'd kill somebody. But I could penetrate all the women around me. It's fine. See, I know it's a double standard. Okay, but I'm the man, Tug. All right.
That's not a double standard. That's a rule.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Thank God. All right. Fat Chick, thank you. Nightmare says, sending you a Sonic Chew medallion. Oh my God. No, please, Jesus. Oh my God. It's hilarious.
I was like, man, he said, hey, I just opened this up and it's like this. I hope to God that was like a skit, because if I got that thing, what the fuck is all over it? Hey, why is it a little wet and sticky? No, fuck all that.
No, that's going straight in the trash.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep that away from me. It's like when it's like the possessed doll in all the horror movies. You throw it away and it's just sitting in the rocking chair 2 hours later. No, I'm leaving. I'm moving out. I'm like Billy Joel. I'm moving out. Yeah, ain't no way in hell. Thank you, Nightmare. Curtis D of Montana says, my attorney always said it's not what they know, it's what they can prove. Thank you, Curtis D. Appreciate you, dude. Robert Pennington says, I owe a hell of a lot of money on my farm loan. I owe God damn, you really? What? Don't start this shit. There's 3,000 people watching this. Don't start this in the damn super chats. I owe a hell of a lot of money. Thank you. Kevin says, do you also talk to Nate the lawyer in Barnes? I have not. I watched Nate's whole show yesterday, though.
I asked Nate a couple of questions. I was wondering about probable cause with live streams. I mean, we all live stream, so yeah. I was like, how exactly does that work? And actually, let me find the answer to that.
Yeah, that'd be good, because that's actually important. And also, like, to be fair, as a dumb redneck man, I wouldn't see how it wouldn't be admissible. like it's happening. You're on camera. It's happening. I feel like they could use that shit.
Yeah. So I asked him. I was like, how do live streams work as probable cause? Is there like a specific law this falls on? I asked because it's all built on officer perception. Like, how do they know you're not faking high, for example? Whatever. Has there ever been a TV show or something where this has happened before? Is there some kind of precedent? And he said, give me 1 second. He said, yeah, when they look at that, the standard for probable cause is very low. Simply, it is more likely than not, when you look at the totality of the circumstances, one fact alone may not be enough, but this series of events and facts, they string it all together, and that's what leads to everything. So, yeah, they can consider it as well. I thought that. I really hadn't thought about. I figured somebody might look at that and he would get a knock at his door from CBS or something, possibly. But yeah, I didn't think about it being used as more weight to kick your door in.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it's like chili, man. The more shit you put in the chili, the better it is. You put onions in the chili, chopped onions, chopped tomatoes. Dude, you put some fucking some 3-alarm death sauce, just like 2 drops of that shit. It just gets better and better. And I feel like that's the same way with a warrant. It's like the more shit they can put. Oh, look, we have this stream. Oh, look, he's masturbating. Oh, look, there's he just passed out for a second. There's all these things happening. Oh, look, he has powder on his nose. Yeah, I mean, it looks better for a warrant than worse, I guess.
I do. I ask lawyers all the time. Now, I've never talked to Barnes before, but I ask lawyers all the time, like before I live stream, because I'm not a lawyer and I want to know these things. And most of us are just lay people. You know, the majority of the audience that tunes into this stuff, we catch we also see the lawyers arguing about stuff. So when they don't have a consensus, like they confuse the shit out of us a lot of times.
Yeah, 100%. Kevin, thank you. And by the way, chat, I know he wasn't really masturbating. I know. I know when I saw it immediately, I knew what he was doing. He was pretending to do the DSP bit. He did it. He even said, "Why is my camera on?" He even said the same thing, but he was so fucked up that it just looked real. So I was like, "Ooh, well, you can't." But they're gonna use that one for sure. They're gonna take that and run with that. You know, I knew. Chris Clement says, "I believe he paid the bill because he knows his house was everywhere, and he didn't want to surrender his two-way. If I were him, I'd be worried about the crazies." That's a good point, Chris. Thank you. Kate of the Sweets. What's up, baby? How you doing, dude? Gabriel Knight P. What the hell? What does that mean?
He means P.
Did he read my mind? I do have to piss for that. I'm not doing it because I can hold that shit for a while. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Billy Hatcher says, when I first met Nick at Montsuri, he was tall, but he was skinny. And I was thinking he's a twig. Yeah. He wasn't really that skinny at Montsuri either.
First time I saw him, I thought he was thin, you know, not gaunt, you know, not.
Yeah.
Not
I
like
mean,
he
he's
looks
always been thin. I mean, I met him.
Yeah.
He was over 200 pounds the first time I met him. And he was he looked thin. I mean, he's tall as hell. And then he lost like 60 pounds. So I haven't seen him in person since then, but I couldn't imagine. He looked pretty gaunt in those later streams. So, because even when I saw him in Nashville, he was skinny, but he looked normal skinny, right? But yeah, that was in October of last year, which is kind of when he became distant and stopped talking to me. At least I would reach out like once a month and check on him, but yeah, that's when he kind of disappeared. Thank you, Billy. Appreciate you, Billy. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys like the show. Thank you guys so much for all your constant love and support of us small streamers. Not Tug. Tug's a large streamer. I'm a small streamer.
No, man, you're out there doing fucking racing and shit.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
What a good logic DM me. Hey, he said hey, and I'm just gonna be like,
You got Timcast like fucking sponsoring you. Come on, man.
yeah, dude, that was awesome. We had a great race, man. We had a lot of fun at Charlotte. We're not done talking, by the way. I'm just, I'm real proud of the Timcast car and the Timcast crew. And we've been doing a lot of good, and we've been having a lot of good results lately. We got a top 10 at Flat Rock. We got 13th at Charlotte, and we were running 9th, but the last restart killed us. But the car is just beautiful. We got Public Square on there as well. Public Square is really helping out. Timcast, of course. There's my thumbnail I clicked over. I'm glad it wasn't a nude. That would suck, wouldn't it? But anyways, yeah, very proud of that. So, yeah. No, I usually delete my nudes. No, I'm actually looking to see if there is. No, there's not. Oh, I'm surprised actually.
You have to go check. You're like,
yeah, I'm like
are
looking.
there any nudes? Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I lost my check mark to make my damn profile picture Alex Stein.
I saw you did that.
I was drinking, I was drinking a little bit. And I thought it'd be funny. I was watching. I meant to EFAP that tonight. So the Alex Stein interview with Aaron. Holy shit. Alex Stein is so fucking no bullshit. He's just like the stuff he would say.
Oh my god, him asking about there was some questions I was like, damn, like, did you
he would just interrupt him, like Aaron would be like, yeah, it's been a very, very emotional time, and it's just a lot of this. I've been watching it, and it hurts to watch. And and then fucking Alex Stein's like, yeah. Anyways, like, who fucked the wife's better, you? And I'm just like, oh my god, Alex Stein's crazy, dude. He's fucking wild. Yeah, it was fun. It was. If you try to not take it seriously, it's fun. I know it's about a really touchy subject. But, Queen B says, as a gal, I can say that the reasons for the neglect are fixable. Remove the drugs. This ends. Kids around drugs, though, that can be bad. I question recovery outlook if they're both using. Yeah, I agree. I agree with all that. Because like I said, as far as we know, none of this was really happening before. And again, we don't really know about the child neglect, like for sure. I mean, we don't really know about anything for sure. Let's be honest. I mean, innocent until proven guilty, right? But
Yeah.
As far as the child neglect stuff, I think we'll know soon. So I'm hoping it goes good, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not saying it will go good or bad, but I'm hoping for a friend and for a family that it does. Right. So thank you, Queen Bee. Donna, I feel it's sad what's happening to Nick. Hope he'll get better. I DM'd you May 21st about the spring. Didn't get back to me after I told them packages got stolen. Can't wait for walk-ons. Oh, it's gonna be awesome. What spring? Teespring. I DM'd you about May 20 about Teespring. You talking about Teespring? Oh, I got a new shirt out on. I'll advertise that. I've totally forgot about. But thank you, Donna. I appreciate you. Hopefully they get back to you. From what I understand, they fucking are not good at it. So thank you, Donna. I appreciate you. What's up, King Deplorables? How you doing? So what would be your preferred outcome? I think I know, but what would be your preferred outcome to all of this?
Straight from the go, Nick go to rehab.
Yep.
That would be, you talking about in the end of all of this? I think Nick takes accountability because regardless of charges, Nick has a problem. So he needs to go and get that sorted. If he does that, I think everything else falls into place. But as far as charges, I mean, he's a first time. This is the first time in there. I think they can get the weight down some because, again, that's weight including packages and whatnot. And judges, like somebody else said in the super chat, judges love you going into some kind of deferment program. They eat that stuff up. So
yeah, I think that's going to be the obvious route. That's what I hope happens too. I hope it all works out in the end, and I hope he does. I think rehab would be the best way, shape, or form to go forward. And he doesn't have to really be public about it. I mean, as long as it's present in the case when that all happens, then I think it's beneficial.
I think he does to a point. I think he there's two things there. I mean, you live your life openly to a point. Again, there's a lot of things we found out. It's like, wow, maybe I didn't know about that for sure. But you're always on. You're always out here, and there are a lot of people that are invested in Nick. A lot of people were disappointed, man. A lot of the anger you see, it's just because people want him to do better, and they know he's fucking up. And a lot of people thought he was fucking up for a long time. So there has to be some way to handle it, but that's not the priority. The priority first is to get his shit sorted, and then he can go and fix whatever. Yeah,
and the unfortunate why this is so big, in my opinion, is because so many people wanted it to happen for so long.
Yeah.
And I think there obviously was people that joined that crowd because of the actions that they were seeing. But I also think there was people in the crowd already that hated him. So they were waiting for something like this to happen. And then, of course, like I said, I've seen people in my chat, locals or whatnot, what have you, that were straight up like Rekieta law people. And that's where they came from. That's where I know them from. That's how they're in my chat, like for my normal shows. And they fucking detest Nick now. And they're normal ass people. They're not just haters, So a lot of people joined that bandwagon, and but I do think the majority of people want to see him better. And right here, Stacy Q says, "I bet the body cam footage will show nothing sus. They targeted Nick. It's not the first time corruption has been done. Yes, and Nick needs to help himself." That's what I would like to see, Stacy. I don't know if that's what we'll see, but that's what I would like to see. I do think there's a little bit of copium involved with assuming there's a conspiracy. But I would like that copium to be real, because I don't want any child to be neglected for any reason. So that's why I'm like, well, let's hope this is what we see. And this is what I'm hearing from my friend personally. So I would like to believe that, like to lean towards that. And I hope that's what we see. And if what he's saying is true, and I would like to believe that, and I currently do, that's where I'm leaning, then that's what we should see. But if we don't, then we're back at square one, right? So Anyways, thank you, Stacy. I appreciate you. We got an orange boy popping up. Says Matt himself says isn't it a coincidence that this all started after Vegas and Nick was drinking Monster Energy drinks in your shared luxury suite? How dare you introduce rackets to the devil's cocktail? Emphasis on cock.
Oh no.
I did. I totally did. All this was going on way before that. But yeah, I did give him a monster and he loved it.
I think the reason that this stuff got so big too is, well, first of all, he's competition for the media. You know, I'm talking about just coverage. I'm not talking about the issue, but yeah, he's competition. He also covered Rittenhouse, man. Anytime you see Rittenhouse, that stuff comes up in the media over and over again. Election year. I mean, again, there are a lot of people that rooted for him to go down. He also, he's made a lot of enemies in that mainstream circuit. So they made a lot of noise. No, normies hit it, man. I had somebody I know call me and ask me, because they knew I'd streamed with Nick before. They were like, what's this I'm seeing about Rick Nikita? I was like, Rick Nikita? Yeah.
Rick Nikita.
Yeah, that's what they were like, Rick Nikita. But they know very little about online. And for them to have heard that, I was like, damn, man, does this really have that much reach? It was kinda...
fuck no, dude, that's actually a great thing to bring up. Speaking of this super chat real quick, yes, I gave him Monster. He said he didn't like energy drinks. I gave him a white Monster. He drank it and said it was the best thing he's ever tasted. So that did happen. Anyways, it was that stream. I think it was CAMELCAST 11. I think it was CAMELCAST 11 in the hotel. But no, dude, one of my friends I haven't talked to in like 3 years texted me the other day, and they're like, "Holy shit, Nick Rekieta." And I was like, yeah, that happened. And they're like, "Holy shit, I can't believe this." And I'm like, yeah, oh, by the way, thanks for messaging me. I haven't talked to you in years, and you messaged me saying Nick Rekieta got arrested. Yeah. I was like, it's people I haven't talked to in a long time, So that did happen. Is that Nina? Is that Nina Infinity in the chat? What's up, baby? How you doing? Has Drex spoken out yet? No. I talked to Drex today. And even though, now I will say Drex was very pissed.
Yes.
That is very mad.
Understatement of the century.
Yeah, he was very, very upset at the arrest and all the charges, the child neglect charges. He was not happy. He was very, very upset. But I did talk to him today. And you can tell when people are friends, because I talked to him about, talking to Nick, and he was like, he asked, well, how's he feeling? How's he doing? Even after he was pissed as fuck, he's still like, well, how's he doing? What's going on? Is he all right? You know what I'm saying? So people want to see him better. We understand the allegations that are brought forth. We get it. We get the gravity of the situation. I want to see a positive outcome, because a positive outcome helps everybody. Somebody asked me yesterday or this morning on a Cecil stream. They were like, how many years of prison do you want him to serve? And I was like, none.
Yeah, 0. That's right.
What? I mean, I don't want a father to be taken away from their children, and their children losing their father influence in their life. Nothing is benefited from that. You know what I'm saying? So look, there's some serious shit going on. I get it. It's not good, especially if the child neglect stuff comes through and it's fucking real, which I'm hoping it's not. And I tend to believe that Nick wouldn't do anything like that. Because I mean, fuck, he talks about his kids all the time. But addiction does crazy shit to people. So I mean, the
possibility, you lose sight of everything else. That's the only thing you focus on.
Yeah. So, but I want a positive outcome, and I know a lot of people don't. And if you don't want a positive outcome from somebody, why would you not want a positive outcome when it involves children? Look, maybe let's assume you hate Nick, and there's people that probably do for some reason. Like, I don't get parasocial relationships. I think they're weird, but I get it. Some people hate him. If he didn't have children, I would be like, okay, well, you want to see him go down. I get it. But you're also wanting 5 children to lose their father influence. One as young as 6 years old. That's never a good thing. I mean, why do you think crime in this country is so terrible? It's because the single motherhood rate is the highest it's ever been in history. It's bad. It's not a good thing. So no, I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like it at all.
I've seen people be like, yo, he was never really your friend. And I'm like, man, you have no idea. I'm not a messenger, like I said before. You know, I don't message people and do all that shit. But man, I needed something. One time I needed help. I needed help quite a bit. Nick was the first person to be like, yo, I'll help you out. Not only that, didn't broadcast it to the world, nothing, you know, just kept it there with a friend, a real friend in that. And man, I would love to see my friend get shit just straight. Again, a lesson. This has been a lesson, man. This hopefully is a huge wake-up call, and it ends here.
Yeah, I think I think that's why a lot of people are saying it's rock bottom. I think if he comes to his senses and puts any and all alleged drug use behind him, alcohol, all that shit behind him, then there's only place you can go from here is up.
Yeah.
Right. But if it's not, if he doesn't put all that behind him, then it can get a lot worse.
Yeah. Well, the rock bottom, like after seeing that stream, I wasn't worried as much about arrest. I was worried like OD, wrapping himself around a tree, killing some people, you know, on the road. I mean, I don't know. I thought of all these horrible things, you know. So rock bottom, I hope this is the rock bottom, because all of those things that I was imagining there, God, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about it for a long time when this is all playing out and watching it from behind the scenes and watching, you know, the streams and blah, blah, blah and all that, and knowing a bunch of the stuff that's going on. You know, beforehand, I was, you know, kind of worried. But I never really looked past, you know, prison. I thought eventually somebody would get in trouble legally, which is what happened. But yeah, I feel like Minnesota is Minnesota, right? Yeah. unless you're like, you wreck a car, like you said. I mean, it's Minnesota. I would be worried if you were like tripping fucking balls and you're like in the middle of downtown LA. Like, oh, no, you might get like slapped or killed or something.
I'm sure you've seen people tell you, like, give up on him. You know, he's not going to hear you. Give up. You know, you don't help people just for them. Maybe this sounds a little selfish, but you do it for yourself too. You know, you reach out. You may need help at one time, but also I'd like to sleep better at night knowing at least I fucking tried something, man. You know, even if it's screaming as loudly as I can on fucking online because somebody's not listening to me in private, you know?
Yeah, I completely agree. Helena, thank you, baby, for your $5 super chat. Love you, Helena. Miss you. Sandy says it will probably be harder for him to stop the alcohol. I can't imagine the withdrawals after drinking that heavily daily. Yeah, they're bad, man. They're bad. The withdrawals are bad, but Tug says, and I've heard this before, that alcohol withdrawals can kill you.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're actually, I can't remember this. There was a high profile, like a Hollywood star that died from alcohol withdrawals. He was like, finally, I'm gonna clean my life up and get it straight, and died from it. That's why you need help, you know. Yeah,
100%. Thank you, Blue Waffle. I appreciate you. Somebody in chat said something interesting, and I missed it. Somebody said Kurt is grifting. I think Kurt's one of the ones that is the least grifty, and the reason I say that is because he got legitimately emotional on stream, and it wasn't. You know, I've seen some fake, especially from Aaron. I've seen some really like fake emotional shit on streams. Kurt's was not. Kurt was legitimately fucking hurt and upset. And because I think Kurt treats friendship a little bit different than most people. And he treats social like situations a little bit different than most people. So I feel like he's pretty genuine in everything he says. So
I think you're close to it. I mean, again, people are going to accuse you of grifting or whatever, but man, I'm just trying to make sense of it. I don't know what I think, man. I don't know, and I can either sit here and try to figure this out, or I can talk about it another bit. You know, again, you have like almost 3,000 people around, so you know, you see what other people think about it, and I don't know, talk to you too. Like that's one reason I like coming on here, because again, you're close to this too. You've been close, very close to it.
Yeah, it's been, well, I've talked to people, and I'm sure it's fine for me to say now, because when I said I knew a long time ago about a lot of this, people were like, "Why didn't you should?" Well, because it's people from forums, like, you should have said something like immediately. You should like expose them, and I'm like, for one, yeah. Apparently, you've never had a friend in your life, because that's the one thing you don't do. You don't just expose your friends when they are doing anything poorly. You hope they're going to get better, and you message them and you try to kind of prod them in that area. But also, when somebody becomes a legitimate full-blown addict, there's nothing you can do. as an outsider looking in, especially if your friend doesn't matter. Your family doesn't fucking matter at that point. And people were like, well, why didn't you should have said something, you should have helped. And I'm like, you say, look, this is how this works.
How?
Yeah, exactly. This is how this works. If I say something and I defend him, then I'm enabling him. If I say nothing, I'm enabling him. If I attack him, I'm grifting and I'm clout chasing. There is no way out of this situation. Like, so I'm just speaking my mind from the purest form I can. Yeah, so there's that at least. Squid. Last time I had alcohol withdrawal, everything hurt for 3 weeks straight, and I wasn't even an alcoholic for that long. It can get pretty bad. They can get pretty bad, man. Thank you, Squid.
Seizures and shit. I mean, people.
Oh, God, could you imagine? Fuck. I mean, somebody in the chat said that people had to be intubated.
Yeah.
That's crazy. God, could you imagine getting intubated because you had alcohol withdrawal? Damn. It's insane, Squid. Lemon Trashy says, whoever leaked the GS censored 10 a.m. badly. 10 a.m. Yeah, I saw that. Whoever leaked it. Yeah, they put like little logos over everybody or all the times. And I'm like, what does it matter?
I like how whoever leaked it, though, they left Flash's name. And
oops, you missed one of them.
I just thought that was funny. You know, but I was like, Flash, dude, I'm gonna note this because again, everything I'm seeing on Twitter, it's like pieces of it here. You know, people are, I don't know. At least there could be a record of exactly how it goes through, and your name is attached to it. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Whatever.
Yeah, at that point, fuck it. Right.
He didn't care anyway. I think if his name wouldn't have been, he'd be like, I don't give a fuck. Like, who cares?
Yeah. Now, I've done GameStop videos where I left somebody that like leaked me from some info. I fucking accidentally left something like in the edit, and it was during the edit, and I went back and I always rewatch like twice when I used to edit my own videos, and I would catch that shit. I have the guy's like full name. I'm like, oh fuck, shit. Almost goofed real good on that one. Thank you, Lemon Trashy. Kevin Barnes blocked Nate for not joining him on Nick. Oh well, that's actually let's talk about that for a second. Make sure you guys like the show. By the way, we're almost to 1,500 already. God, diggity damn, what's going on? So Andrew, Legal Mindset, had a theory, and this was like a theory that was brought upon a super chat or from a super chat, that Barnes and Viva have like could possibly, they don't know for sure, could have a contract with Rumbles and locals, and them defending Nick could have people that are leaving Nick's locals and Rumble or whatever have you, or pay pigs was what they called, he called them, would be going to these other people that are defending him, Viva and Barnes, and they have a stake in this whole ordeal because they're Rumble. Now Viva said he doesn't have a Rumble contract, which I'm gonna be completely honest. If you're exclusively like posting on Rumble and going really hard for Rumble and telling people to join Rumble, I think you probably have a contract with Rumble. You know, because that's just how that is. Rumble's great. It's just it doesn't replace YouTube. It doesn't for me anyway yet. But if Rumble gave me $200,000, I'd not flop over. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference there. For me. So
I mean, Viva. When I've seen, again, I don't know either very well, but I thought Viva just says what he thinks. I don't know Barnes in any way, shape, or form, so I don't have any commentary on Barnes.
Yeah, I don't even. I've seen Barnes on a stream before, but I've other than that, I've never seen anything else. So I don't really have an opinion.
The only thing I take from that is, yes, I would take that $200,000 contract, please.
Yeah,
hook me up, Rumble.
Yeah, but I'd have to still be able to stream on YouTube though. That'd still be a thing I'd have to do. But yeah, I did. Shit. Thank you. Tomorrow, what's up, baby? How you doing? I haven't seen you. I feel like I haven't seen you in real life in a while. Says thank you, Cody. Just thank you. Well, I appreciate that tomorrow. Thank you. For your super chat. Appreciate you. Hope to see you soon. Culture Pro says Barnes is smart and always defends the Constitution. Oh, I'm not doubting at all that he's not smart. I mean, he's a lawyer, and is he a constitutional lawyer? Constitutional law? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I think I read that. I don't. Anyways,
I thought I read that, but I can't say that with 100%.
He's definitely smarter than me. So there you go. And I also tend to agree with the Constitution pretty focusedly in most things, except for the 19th Amendment. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So a bunch of people are saying yes, that's what he is.
Okay. Bad Dragonaut says Viva hates YouTube censorship. It's why he likes Rumble so much. And I don't disagree. But the difference is, and I'm going to be completely transparent with people, you streaming on Rumble, make 300 grand a year. Or sorry, streaming on YouTube, make 300 grand a year. Streaming on Rumble, make 22,000 a year. That's the difference, you know, for like a normie like me. So
300, man, I need to up my game a little.
well, you got to start taking your shirt off.
I don't have my shirt on now. I mean, I take my avatar
there you
shirt
go.
off.
There you go. Well, I'm exaggerating. It's not quite that much. But still, well, it was almost that much when I was streaming all the fucking time. I stream like twice a week now. So it's way lower now. But yeah, you don't just not do that. Now, if Rumble was like, hey, here's 300 grand, yeah, it'd be different. Be like, all right, fuck, let's go. You know, so anyways, that being said, Art the Clown says, tell the Dragon Treasure meeting story. Dragon Treasures meeting. You talking about like at the con? I don't know much about the guy at all. I just remember his logo. I know his logo because I liked his logo. I thought it was cool looking. And he would like DM me and he wanted to like send me some tea or something.
Yeah, I had that too.
And that was fine. But then the thing with Pippa happened where I like fake doxed Pippa with like my friend PDH. And I didn't know that was like a bad thing. I do now, obviously, but they all still hate me. It's fine. But it's whatever. my VTube Spectrum life did not last very long. And that Dragon Treasures guy took that really personal and he fucking hates me now because of that. I don't know why. I guess he's like a real big fan of Pippa or just VTubing in general. He kind of looks like the guy that would be. But he was really mad at me over that. And he was just going at me fucking on Twitter and all this. I'm like, all right, dude, calm down. And I saw him at a con. I think it was Montserrat. And I saw him and I looked and I saw the fucking Dragon Treasures logo on his booth he had. And I locked eyes with this motherfucker and he knows who I am, obviously. And he looked at me and I looked at him and I started barreling towards this fucking booth. I was gonna be like, "What's up, bitch?" Because I'm, stupid in real life. I wouldn't do anything, but I was gonna be like, "What's up?" Go like laugh and like be like, "Hey, but what's up, bitch? What are you doing here?" And this dude like immediately looks down and fucking leaves his booth and just just disappears.
Man, he got some good ones. He'd have been like, "I ain't sending you a tea. I'll send you a tea bag, bitch," or something. I mean, that'd been awesome.
It was funny. I don't have a problem with the guy. I just thought it was fun. What the fuck?
No, I've only had positive interactions ever.
Yeah, I mean, that and before the fucking Pip thing, he was fine, and then all of a sudden, like the Pip thing, he fucking hates me. I was like, "Damn, you like hate me really over this stupid Twitter thing?"
I take nothing you do seriously. That's how I know. Like people don't know, man. Like Southerners, period. And then, man, I know people like you, Cody. That again, just blunt in your face, and I love it, man. It's honesty, and never take any of the other dumb. Like if you say something crazy or dumb, it's just like that's Cody, man. It's all good.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I still don't have a problem with him at all. I don't even know him, but I thought it was funny that he was so mad at me over that. And I saw him and I was like, I'm gonna go talk to this motherfucker. And he was not about that. Thank you, Becky says, I've not seen Runkle of Bailey or Law and Lumber make a peep. Smart boys. Runkle has had like 10,000 people watching the other day, but he was watching a trial. I think he was like EFAPing a trial or something.
I like Runkle, man.
Runkle's cool, yeah. I tried to get him on a show one time and then we talked back and forth and I got banned. And I don't think he's following my new Twitter. So, oops. Thank you, Becky. I appreciate you so much for your super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you. 250 away from goal super chat. So make sure you like the stream. We're killing the lot goal. We already nuked it into orbit, but we need to nuke it more into orbit. Okay, let's do it more. Do it live. Nina says check DMs. I'm doing it, baby. What's up? All right. Nina says she wants to join. All right, we're gonna invite Nina right now. And then after this, I'm gonna go to Jazz's show. To do some karaoke shit, so make sure you guys are gonna that'll be after this. I'll send Nina the link so she can join and say her piece. And see that this is actually also a good thing about parasocial relationships. People thought me and Nina like hated each other for like no reason, because that whole goofy thing, where like I said a thing on a stream, and I definitely shouldn't have said it.
It's like your ass is, people don't get like y'all are in the same like DM, like they've seen the groups. Hey man,
yeah,
y'all are in the same groups and everything else. And, and chat and shit.
And we talk all the time.
Yeah,
I talk to her like every day, and somebody like super chatted and was like, "And you and Nina still like hate each other?" And I'm like, What? No. What the fuck? We never hated each other. Not even for a second. Not even for a second. It's crazy.
When Nina gets here, I'm gonna tell her what you said for real.
Good.
No, I'm just kidding.
Fuck her. No.
No.
Kimberly Ashcraft says, I have narcolepsy and was addicted to Lortab, clean in 2013. Narcolepsy is a lack of hypocretin or orexin, which opiates mimic actions of, maybe made opioid addiction easier. Nick doesn't take his narco meds. What? I thought he took one of them. What was the one he used to say? Fuck, I don't remember now. There was one he took. Somebody in the chat will get it. Or I thought he did.
Molly.
Well, yeah, of course, but like not to treat his narcolepsy. That was because he wanted to feel like the furry wall, bro.
The furry wall.
That's the furry wall. Bro, Pro Vigil, thank you, Steph. Yeah, so that's what he'd take for narcolepsy, I think. But no, fucking Nick be like, I remember one time Nick walked up to me. I think we were in Vegas, maybe. I don't know.
Pro Vigil, that's what people are saying.
Yeah, Pro Vigil. But Nick walked up to me. I think it was in Vegas. I can't remember. It might not have been in Vegas. And he was like, bro, he's like, if I start like, rubbing like your hair, like just try to ignore it and I'll try not to. And I'm like, okay, do whatever you want to do, man. He's like, dude, I'm just saying I'm probably gonna have to rub your hair. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what's happening, but you can do that if you want. Just don't put like your dick in it. Like, but you can rub my hair.
No, it's gone bad when.
Yeah. No, I was playing piano. We had this really nice suite and I was playing grand piano. I was sipping on some whiskey, playing some piano. And Nick's like just stroking my hair. There's a video of it somewhere on local from like years ago.
Oh,
it was fun.
So cute.
My hair. Yeah. Yeah, that was that. Yeah. Twisted became a member. Thank you, Twisted. Twisty D-Lo. Thank you, baby. I appreciate that. Yeah. Well, it's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with rubbing some hair, boys. Robert Adams says, "Gate." Nina, I sent you a link, by the way, you goober. Where are you at? God, I ain't got time for this, Nina. I ain't got time for you to be putting your makeup on, putting your girdle on. Is that what they call them?
Your girdle on. Yeah, that's what I did before I got on here.
Yeah, dude, I got it. Fucking, bro. If I don't, my gut's like hitting the ground. I gotta be careful.
Yeah, no. I mean, shit. Let's put up a more realistic avatar of me. Here we go. Yeah, that's me.
That's what I look like in the morning when I got my PJs or my underwear on. Get out of bed. I look just like that. There's Nina. What's up, baby?
Hi. Oh my God, I hate you so much. You're like the worst.
I agree.
Hi, Dad.
Likewise.
Hey, what's up?
It's been a crazy week, Nina.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, and then when those fucking now, I don't know about you, but when I woke up because I wake up at like 11 or noon, and I saw those DMs like live when they were happening, and I was like, oh fuck, somebody's gonna leak this.
Yep.
I knew it immediately, and then I I got up, drank my Monster, made some eggs and bacon, fucking clicked on my stream. Mindset was streaming, and Mindset was commentating the leaks as they were coming out. He wasn't reading them all, but he was like saying, "Oh fuck, Nick's talking about guns. Fuck, what is he doing?" And he's like, "This shit's gonna be leaked for sure." And I'm like, and then shit, I think it was the next night or the next morning they were all leaked. And I'm like,
well, that's why everybody thought that he did it.
Yeah,
that he
there's
leaked
no telling. Ain't no telling. I mean, there was a lot of people in there, and like half of them weren't even active.
Yeah.
So they're
a lot of suspects. It was like a murder mystery. It was like, who did it?
Yeah, and then I think it was Jay said he's you're welcome to screenshot me having my face in my wife's ass cheeks last night.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna screenshot that right now and release it.
That's getting leaked.
Yeah, for sure. Helena says, Tug, will you please make some short form 90-30 minute videos on this? Everything is in full length streams. Cody, I have the videos from you and Nick in Vegas. It was super fun and sweet. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Helena was there. No, dude, that was so sweet. That was a very sweet core memory that I have. It was Helena and Nick, and they were like, Nick was pretty drunk, and there was some music playing, and I don't know if Helena was, I don't remember if she was drinking or not. I don't remember, but they were like just kind of slow dancing, and it was so funny. It was adorable. It wasn't gay. Okay,
good times.
I mean, it was kind of gay, but it wasn't like gay. It was funny. It was a funny time. Yeah, there was a nice memory that I have, and I hope we get to have more of those in the future. That's why I hope to have a good outcome. What would you be your preferred outcome, Nina?
Of course, I want I want Nick to get better. Like I'm definitely, you know me, I'm infinite hope girl. So I hope for the best. I mean, obviously, I've seen the worst. Because I mean, some of you may not be able to tell, but I'm pretty old. Because I've been around this earth for a long time. So I've dealt with addiction, with people close to me being addicted, and some of them have fallen and some of them have risen and become better people, versions of themselves, because they grab life by the balls and they fucking just they go the opposite. They do right by all the people they wronged, and they usually the people that usually come out of it go into helping other addicts like themselves later on, make programs. They do a lot of good work after going through hell, basically. So I'm hoping that for Nick. I'm really, really hoping that he's going to come back on a comeback tour. He's going to come on all of our channels.
Yeah.
We're going to have some good times talking about the retrospect. And I think that, and you guys were saying earlier, Tug, I think you said it, there's a lot of lessons to be learned here. And I said that earlier in my stream. There's a lot of lessons to be learned here. And I think one of them is, if you're a YouTube personality, don't ever become the news.
Yeah.
Just don't. Just don't do it.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Cover content, don't become content. Yep.
Yep.
Just don't become the content, man. Because people that's one of the things that I've noticed about this whole thing too, that's like really upsetting, is like how many people are reveling in this man's fall. And I mean, I understand that, some people didn't like him. Sure. Nobody likes not everybody likes everybody.
Right.
Everybody there's a lot of people that hate me. And I'm like, whatever, I don't care. Like, people are going to hate people. That's just the way it is. But when you just revel in somebody's downfall, that shit is it's gross, man. It's gross. And one of the things too, that I noticed about that Aaron guy, because I didn't know any of these people. I was like, who are these people? They just showed up. Literally 7 months ago, I had no idea who the fuck this Aaron was, or it's April. I didn't know any of these people. And
I wish I still didn't.
Yeah.
I know, me too. And at first, when they started telling their story, he started telling his story. It's like up to a point, you're like, this guy went through some shit. Wow. And now he's sharing it online. Wow, he went through some stuff. And you're kind of like, okay, you're seeing it. And then he just keeps going. And keeps going, and he's got this smirk on his face, and he's laughing, and you're like, man, there's something else there. This, it's not just because a lot of people that go through this kind of stuff, they're shamed. There's a deep shame with this kind of behavior, and there's a deep regret and remorse. And when you have those things, you don't really talk about it with glee. You don't, I don't know. It just doesn't seem normal to talk about something like this with actual glee and I'm taking out this dude. That's right. And it just feels icky. It doesn't feel genuine anymore.
He goofed. Because if you went to one of his streams a week ago, when he was kind of hinting at what was going on, he had 1,000 viewers and 99% likes.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you said, he started going on more and more shows, saying more and more things, being more and more kind of happy about what he was saying, and that shit went the other way. Now it's 50% dislikes on all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and you know what?
Yeah.
Somebody just made a point in the chat. Didn't Nick revel in Jack Murphy's downfall? And you know what? He did. He did. It's true. And that's one of the things. That's one of the lessons that is there, right? Is that what we're talking about lessons, is one of the lessons is maybe don't fucking go so hard at some people, especially when you've got shit in your closet that you never want to come out. Because I don't know how long this stuff was going on with Nick, but certainly he's thought about it. You know what I mean? Some of the stuff has certainly been in the back of his mind. So the fact that he went so hard at the guy, again, it's another lesson. Sometimes you got, skeletons in your closet. If it ever comes out, people are going to make these comparisons.
Yeah, I thought about that. Well, I saw somebody talk about it on Twitter, because I totally forgot about Jack Murphy. But somebody was like, it's funny how Nick was like shitting on Jack Murphy so much, and behind the scenes, he was quite literally doing the exact same thing. Except he wasn't.
The only difference was like Nick doesn't have like a men's group where people were paying like thousands and thousands of dollars to get help about relationships or whatever. So, I mean, yes, people paying him super chats, but that's pretty like it's not a membership thing only. Like that's just a voluntary, you know, you're giving your money away voluntarily. You know, it's not like, oh, join the Nick club and then you'll get exclusive access to knowing how to please your wife. Like, you know.
Yeah, I'm just very happy a video didn't come out of Nick putting something in his ass.
Oh god.
Because that would have just been too much for me to handle.
Do you think the Aaron thing, though, a lot of it is based on getting even or revenge? Because he became
100%, dude, 1000%. Yeah,
he seems jaded as fuck, man. I think it's exactly that. Because
Nick was fucking Chad and he stole his wife, bro.
You know, it's funny. I was watching Ethan talk about it last night, Ben Skyver on Trashcast, and he was calling out Aaron for what he is. I think he was exactly right. Honestly, I think he was exactly right about what is going on with that guy. He just seems jaded. There's like I said at the beginning, there's like something there where you're like, well, yeah, I mean, like you fucked up and you're taking responsibility for, you know, your bad behavior, and then it becomes this like, ooh, you're jaded and you just want to take this dude down.
Yeah. And I talked to Nick today, and that was one of the points of contention.
When he's all like, my sweet baby, you know, talking about.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man.
He said, I don't remember what he said. But he said something to the nature of, yeah, absolutely fuck Aaron, like fuck that motherfucker, something like that. So that's like, I was like, oh, I would obviously feel that way because he's going fucking hard, and Nick can't really talk. Let's be fair, Nick really can't talk.
He can't say anything.
He shouldn't. But that just leaves this Aaron guy to go on fucking every show on earth, grow his platform, and just build his platform on the death or the grave of Nick's currently. The thing is, Nick is way more talented, and Nick can easily come back from this. Aaron will probably be back to 90, 80 viewers in like 3 months.
Well, where is he gonna go from here? Like, what is his show about? He says his show is about his life. So once this affair to remember is over, like, where's he gonna go from here?
No,
I don't know.
His show is just covering like news. It's like a talk show. It's kind of like you know, like Howard Sterney, old fashioned like disc jockey shit. Which I think that's I think that style is dead as shit in my opinion. But and he's also not very good at it in my opinion. I don't know. But I did
watch enough of his content.
Right. I did watch a few of his shows when this was all like starting to really snowball, because they were kind of interesting, because he was telling me shit that I've never heard of. All I ever heard was, you know, Nick was like, hey, I met this April girl like at some comedy club, and they started hanging out. Like,
you know what else I laughed at was Ethan called him Job from fucking Arrested Development, and I cannot unsee it now. I can't unsee it. It's 100% Job.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's 100%. But yeah. I knew it got bad. Right then, because when Nick was like, yeah, he started hanging out with this April girl more and more and more, and then telling me about it, and I was like, oh no, and then he was fucking gone, and he disappeared.
He disappeared around the same time for me too, because we were in contact, and then I mean, he would I would message him and be like, hey, you okay? Especially when he would cancel shows. Like I'd be like, hey, you okay? Like, what's wrong? It's always like, you know, busy life stuff, blah blah blah. And then, but he never said anything about this girl at all. And then I was like, hey man, I've been hearing some rumors. What's going on? And he's like, nothing's going on. Everything's fine. It's just like, all right.
Yeah. I mean, he pretty much, when I talked to him, he told me everything usually, but then he kind of distanced himself, you know, like with Tug, when when one of your, like your dude friends gets like a new girlfriend and they fucking disappear.
Yeah.
That's what that shit was. 100%. I was like, oh, he's gone. He's gone forever. And then the only contact I had with him, other than I could text him and he'd respond usually. But it would be like pretty short stuff. I did the same shit, and you know, I'd message him and be like, hey dude, like, are you all right? You doing good?
Okay.
And he would always be like, dude, I'm doing better than ever. And I'm like, all right, well, I watched the stream yesterday. I don't fucking know, but it's all
Same
good.
here. Same here.
And I texted him, I don't know, like maybe 2 months ago. And I was like, hey, I think it was after the Dear John stream. I don't fucking remember. And I was like, me and you and Cecil, dude, we should do. And I totally like presented it as like a fun thing. I'm like, you know what we should do? Me, you, and Cecil should have a guy's trip to Nashville and get a cabin and fucking relax for like a week without anybody else. Because I was trying to like see if I could plug him out of this fucking shit.
Like take him out of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, dude, I have absolutely no time to even do my own shows, let alone travel somewhere. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, all right then. You know, so
wish he had made time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was
he was deep in it, man.
Some shit was going on, man. Some shit was going on. It was rough.
Hindsight comes with a lot of clarity, though. You know, I mean, you look back and you're like, well, yeah, there was some problems there. You could see that, but
yeah. Fuck. Slosher says Nina hopes for the best. Flag Canada to go to Mexico. I should probably get out too. Thank you, Slosher. Appreciate.
I do hope for the best. That's why I came here.
Yeah, dude. Culture Pro says Aaron's putting himself in legal danger. Maybe he's saying a lot of shit. He's just fucking. He sees the dollar signs, man.
What about the divorce stuff too, man? He's admitted to a lot of shit. I would thought he would have her in a pretty interesting, you know, with everything that's come up. But he keeps talking.
Oh, you mean divorce from April?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Culture Pro. Fat Chick Thriller says, why is everyone overlooking the wife swapping, especially after so many shit on Jack Murphy? Rightly so. Nick played a Coke Simulator game making fun of Ron Toy the entire time. He ended up being a Coke. Sad. A little bit of a different situation, but no, I agree. Now, I said that earlier, man. As a Southern man, I could just never do it. Now, look, some people like to do things. If some other people have different interests, that's fine. I could never do it, but I'm a different person, right? So it is kind of funny about the Jack Murphy thing, but the Jack Murphy thing was kind of creepy because Jack Murphy liked to sit on a bench in front of the house his wife was getting banged in and just sit there. Like, that's fucking psycho. And then also he put stuff in his ass, like on camera. And also he had a alpha like boot camp thing that was like thousands of dollars, like a membership thing that he sold to people. So like it's a little bit of, you know,
wasn't it like $1,000 a month or something? It was something ridiculous.
Crazy, yeah. And like Nick, I don't think Nick ever, you know, presented himself as the ultra Chad, like fucking alpha guy. You know what I'm saying? I think he was just a guy. So thank you.
Nick was always a drunk lawyer.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people bringing up the wife swap. I think people that are closer to Nick or consider him a friend, you know, we're looking at the other stuff. And yeah, you know, you could laugh about some other things and give him shit, but there's so much serious stuff happening right now. That's not funny.
Right.
I think bottom line too is that most people actually wouldn't give a shit about the wife swapping or the like swinging or whatever.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that shit is like very private, personal life stuff. But when like the drugs got involved and allegedly, and the stream, I mean that last stream, and what the visible change is what most people are concerned about.
Yeah. And, you know, I don't know. Shit, I hold a weird opinion that if people are like, you're doing this thing, or maybe they have evidence you're doing this thing as far as like, it's what some people might not be into as far as sexually, like wife swapping, whatever have you. I just fucking own it. But hell yeah, do it. You want to turn? Because a lot of people did this thing people have been doing it forever. They say that Kayla is our wife. That's what they refer to her as because of this whole like rumor shit. And I'm like, dude, if it was me, and this is how I operate, I just own that shit. I'll be like, hell yeah, if you want to turn, I'll have a meetup. We're gonna have a meetup in Vegas if you guys want to turn on our wife.
I think honestly, that's the healthiest way is to own it.
Because it's funner. It makes it fun for me, you know. But
and again, it's not like it's illegal, like, you know, swapping and that kind of stuff is not illegal. So nobody would have cared if that was the thing. Like he would have just gotten another type of audience that are into that shit. You know?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, dude, yeah. In the Middle East, it's all good. Richard Boslin. Aaron reminds me of Amber Heard. The more shows he goes on and on, the more he talks, the bigger and the more outrageous his stories get. Yeah, Richard Boslin, I agree. Junebug. People are saying Nick put a bottle up his. Oh, he did do that. Fuck.
Oh my God.
I forgot.
Wait, did he actually though? Because I heard rumors about that. I don't know if that's true.
There's a picture of it. I saw it. Yeah. Now, granted, I think he put the bottle in
no.
his ass cheeks and squeezed, and he like held it. I don't think he like shoved it in his brown eye. So there's a little bit like we gotta have a little bit. We need the facts, okay, not the rumor, okay.
I don't need much context with that thing.
You know how like you put something in your ass and you squeeze it like a towel. Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah,
did
I
not
know that. I know
penetrate
so
me.
well.
So it's different, okay. It wasn't for pleasure; it was for fun.
Yeah, you know the drinking's gotten bad when, right?
Bruh.
And then he licked the bottle, obviously.
Oh no!
Oh no!
I told him to stop doing it, man. He just won't stop doing it. He stopped licking the bottle, bro. Just like slowly you can put the bottle.
Is that how it started? No.
once you get the taste, you can't get it out of your mouth. Gotta get it more. Thank you, Junebug. Culture Pro says Aaron's a good talker. Geeks and Gamers and EVS and others were nothing until they found a hot topic. What? Oh, you just trolling. You trolling in my chat right now is what you're doing. Bucket ED and G and EVS and shit. No, EVS is God. I love EVS. He's so good. He's fun.
EVS is hilarious.
He's so fun. And he's helped me tremendously with my racing career. He may not realize that, but he fucking started it pretty much. So
I think Carl was awesome too, man.
Man, we're gonna have we're possibly gonna have another one. Possibly in the same series, but also possibly in something much larger. So,
well, he said he wanted a Salamandroid on there, so
yeah, we talked about it yesterday. So we're gonna see what happens. Keaton is Batman with $20 New Zealand. Says first time donating and late to the party on your third place at Charlotte. Cody, well done, young man. Sorry to hear about Nick's troubles. Hopes he's able to pull himself out of the gutter. Not least of all for his children. Thank you so much, Keaton. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you. Maiden Iron says, do you know what happened to Ryan, the editor? I talked to him 2 days ago. He just asked me how I was, and I was like, yeah, I'm good, man. He was like, I know you're close with Nick, so I just checking on you. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm good. Like, I'm bummed out, but I'm good. It's all good. So, yeah.
I've been bummed out too, man. It's been
It
depressing.
sucks, because every day I wake up and some more shit's happened.
Me too.
Every damn day. And I think Nick's finally all right, fucking, I ain't gonna talk about this shit no more. And he kind of just disappeared. So that's good.
Yeah, but there's still more, the body cam footage thing is going to come up.
That shit's coming out.
Yeah. It's getting rough, man. But then again, I think the only way up, or the only way from here is up, in my opinion.
I hope so.
It's also the only way out is through, right?
Oh, yeah, dude. 100%. That's like when you have a restart in racing and you're fucking hauling ass because you have new tires. That was me at Nashville. And the only way out was through. I was passing the hell out of some people. It was a fun race. Nashville was awesome. Plus, Nashville's great because my whole family was there because it's close to where I live. We got some Rumble Rants, and Morris says, I found you all through Nick. Big fan. His legal issues I can forgive and understand. The mere fact that he brought coke into the house with 5 children is inexcusable. His plus his wife's fault, period. I don't necessarily disagree. But I don't entirely agree that it's completely inexcusable forever. Like I said, I think he can come back from it. And, as far as, it's a fucked up situation. It's hard to just be like, I get it.
It's the wording. It's not excusable, but, with rehab and everything else, or is anything unforgivable? Some things are, but I think no. I think that's part of it. Forgiveness and
yeah, I agree. I mean, maybe personally you couldn't forgive him, and therefore you distanced yourself, and maybe you move on from his show. I get that. But, it's I want things to be positive. I never really wish harm on anybody, even people I don't care for. So, Morris says he needs to man up and take his medicine, pay the piper, go to rehab, and get right for the children. Both him and his wife need to get clean. I 1000% agree with that.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't argue with that at all. And also, Rumble Rant. God, the Rumble chat is massive today. Hunter Brooks. I had one abusive parent and an addict parent. I know exactly how bad this can go. I'm with Nick, even though I want to service his jaw a bit. I don't want his kids to have the nightmares that I did. I agree.
Same.
I agree.
It's devastating, man. It's devastating.
Yeah. Kimmy says Nick will not get 25 years in prison. I don't think he'll serve any time, to be honest.
As long as he plays this right. I mean,
yes. Do not call the judge a coont.
Yeah.
Just don't do that. Just
He's made some terrible decisions. Like,
Yeah.
just no.
He's smart. And then he gets a little liquored up and he's like, you know what?
Yeah.
Monty's a pedo. And then people in the chat are like, what do you mean? And he's like, I saw him suck a baby penis. I seen it. And I'm like, oh, what are you doing, bro? And then and then he's like, oh, I don't know if I should have said that, but whatever. And then like he, next day he gets liquored up and he's like, my judge, coot, stupid bitch. I'm like, oh, fuck no, Nick.
Did you guys see the Medicare stream about him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, that was funny.
That
Some
last
of it
14
was
minutes,
funny.
I've never heard Medicare sound sad or depressed, man,
Yeah.
at the end. I mean, he sounded bothered by this.
He sounded bothered. Yeah. He sounded devastated too.
Yeah. It was rough, man. It was rough.
It was like when I was listening to Medicare, it was like that scene from Star Wars. Like, he's like, "You are the chosen one. Why?"
You were supposed to defeat the Sith, not join them.
Yeah.
Netanyahu says Mandy was a middle-aged dude in Texas. Nigga got catfish. The guy was definitely some more pics that wasn't posted on everyone. So I always thought this was kind of weird. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. But anybody can get catfished. So that's kind of like, it's not like, oh, Nick's a bitch. Now, granted, Nick shouldn't have been partaking at all, whatever. But then you know about the fucking wife swapping shit now, so it's whatever. Like, yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, that was weird. And I think at first I kind of was like, I don't know what to believe with this. It looks pretty damning. But then Mandy disappeared forever. So I'm like, oh yeah, well that's probably that was probably true then, because that's what you do, right? You just fucking rebrand.
I went into his locals chat once, and it was like a Wednesday, and it was like, I guess he had this thing called like Ass Wednesday, and literally everyone in the chat was like, "Nita, post an ass pic," and I was like, "How about no?" Because I know you fuckers are gonna fucking leak that shit all the fucking internet.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, that's the thing, right? It's just like, if it's the internet, like, don't post shit in threads or anywhere you don't want stuff to be leaked from. So
you use Snapchat like me and Nina do. That's what you do.
I wonder if there was any warning sign though. Mandy. Man's D. What? Wait.
yeah, like Amanda. Like, damn.
It was right there in front of us the whole time. We didn't see it because we didn't want to see it. We love the grainy photos.
Nobody wanted to see that. Yeah.
Culture Pro, the lack of forgiveness is our main problem. I wasn't joking about people like G&G being nothing until they found a hot topic like, The Last Jedi. Okay, see, I'm dumb. I read that wrong. Yeah, maybe. But, I mean, everybody goes through that. I think Jeremy's super talented. He's a bulldog. He just goes fucking straight for it. I think Ryan Cannell, he's super talented.
Ryan Cannell's great.
I think a lot of these people are they're very capable. Shit, yeah, I was nothing, and then I made a video about GameStop. Boom, GameStop guy. So, that's just, it does happen. It does happen. I somehow escaped that shit, but it does happen. Thank you, Culture Pro. I love you. Is C Goody still waiting for any proof that Mandy's a dude aside from a name on a caller ID? Yeah, I'm still not convinced the farms
Hey,
didn't.
C Goody. I hope you're hanging in there, man. I know C Goody was like a huge supporter of Nick.
Yeah.
Hope you're doing well, man.
Well, C Goody's like the autist level of supporter. I will say, look, listen, C Goody. I feel like Nick could come in and slap you in the face and kill your mom, and you'd be like, he probably had a good reason.
Oh my God.
Come on, C Goody. Listen, I need you to wake up, C Goody, and look at the damn light. Okay, look at the light.
Aw.
Come on. No, I'm
I
just
haven't
kidding.
even seen what happened with that Vic Mignogna stuff today yet. Whew.
Oh, let me pull it up. Thank you, C Goody.
Wait, what happened now? Did something else happen other than Vic saying like he doesn't want to have anything to do with Nick?
Well, there was a live stream with what's his name? Alex Stein. He went on Kino Casino. He's supposed to talk about stuff, and something else may have happened too. I don't know. I've been live streaming. I haven't checked yet.
I'll look real quick. We'll see what we
I saw some clips pop up with that, and Andrew Legal Mindset was on there too. I didn't watch it though. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, let's see. Vic Mignogna, let's pull this up. It's just people calling Vic Mignogna's lawyer shitty. That's pretty much all I'm seeing in the last 5 hours. Well, it was so basically what happened for people in the chat. Vic Mignogna was supposed to go on Alex Stein's show. He's been on that show in the past, and it looked like he might defend Nick's, probably from his person, right? I know Nick's a good man. Basically, like that's what I was thinking was going to happen, because I know Vic Mignon in real life. Me and him go out to dinner every time I see him, and he always gets fucking fancy steaks. It's delicious. He's super kind, and I feel like he would stick by somebody when it comes to something like this. But when the allegations of child neglect came out, or endangerment, he was like, never mind. So
yeah, he canceled. I didn't, unless something's happened while I've been on stream today. He didn't actually make a statement. You had Alex Stein that made a statement saying this is what Vic thinks, but I didn't see anything from Vic Mignon himself. So
yeah, exactly. And I wouldn't, if I was Vic, I wouldn't say shit. Like, fuck it. You're not. This isn't your fight anyway. Get at.
I mean, I understand. Like, he didn't want to be on that. Doesn't want to participate in this mess. Yeah. Period. Yeah. I mean, I get it, man. I get that totally. Yeah.
I do too.
100%. Oh, see, Goody said I was waiting for proof from Mandy. Okay, so I don't have any proof, obviously. But the person that was Mandy messaged me on Discord. I never talked to Mandy, other than in locals, like in one of Nick's chat, right? And they messaged me like a wall of text that was fucking massive, like overtly defending themselves to me for some reason. Like, all this shit, this ain't me, this is actually this person, and I'm the blah 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 blah. I don't know. I feel like that desperate attempt to like defend yourself and then completely disappearing off the internet forever kind of leans toward it being fucking true as fuck. But again, no, not really any hardcore proof. So the squid. I don't have my brother's wife saved as a contact, so when she calls the card, he shows up as my brother because they're on the same plan. I'm with C Goody. All right, Squid. There you go. You understand some stuff. Thank you so much, Squiddy. Thank you. That's a good point too. It's a very, very good point. Cody was catfish by Mandy too. No, I never sent nudes to Mandy or vice versa. I don't send nudes to nobody except Nina on Snapchat. Thank you. Let's see. I will be winding down the stream in about 10 minutes. I got to go to another stream.
Oh, you got 100 right now.
Oh, Bob Piffle. Look at this man. But yeah, so I am already super late for that other show, but it's fine. 9 minutes. We're going to wind her down. Bob Piffle says, Nick's a good man, great papa. Got caught up in the dealings of massive stress. Not excusing his methods, but I do get it. He gonna have to reboot for sure. My thoughts and confusions are on Kayla. Was she that messed up to not figure out? Shame. I say, well, look. Hey, Rosa Coda was you got Jazz waiting. Oh, I know. And thanks for the raid. I talked to Jazz a little while ago. Yeah, but I'm gonna head over there soon. So the thing with the Kayla thing is a lot of people, they're like, why did Kayla not stop him? And I don't know where this weird like perspective of like, why didn't his wife stop him from doing a thing? I'm like, well, so for one, why is it just your wife's responsibility to do so? And B, why are you assuming she's not involved in this? Like, if you are like fucking blitzed out of your mind and strung out of your mind, and you're married, if it's been going on for over a year or two, your wife is also doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always thought that was really weird. Like, why are people just like saying,
if she wasn't doing it, she would have left him, because you can't live with an addict.
Yeah,
it's just the way it is.
Right? Imagine, and then
it's just the way it is, because all you're experiencing is constant gaslighting, and it's constant fighting, and it's constant being strung out and dealing with somebody like that, especially if you have 5 kids. And if you're not doing it, you're gonna get split up. It's just natural.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I couldn't imagine, not both of you doing the same thing. I mean, so it's hard to say. I mean, you can look at the mugshot. You can kind of see that people don't look healthy, and that's all I can. We don't, obviously we don't know for sure, but also most of us aren't very naive, except for uncivil law. I'm just kidding, Kurt. I love you.
Real quick, can I say something about somebody in the chat saying too many excuses being made for Nick? He needs to man up, do rehab, plead guilty, fix his family, and more on. I don't know what stream you're watching, because when have we said, like any of us have said, that he doesn't need to be taking accountability or go to rehab or anything like that? He's made terrible decisions that he needs to go and fix. But it's only him, that nobody else is going to do this for Nick. He has to want to do it. There's a certain decision that he has to make for himself. And I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
He needs to take accountability. He needs to fucking go to rehab. He needs to, more than that, go to a psychologist. Get to the root, the bottom line of why you fell into all this bullshit anyways. Because it's always, there's always this drug use, substance abuse, excessive drinking, all of these things. Tug, you know, you're a psychologist. These are an underlying issue. You are using a Band-Aid solution to fix a fucking problem that you have. Deep, deep issues, man.
Yeah.
And he has to go on. You have to face this. If you want to do it, you have to face it. And nobody's making excuses for him. Not on this fucking stream. If other people are, that's one thing. But you coming in here and you telling us 3 of his friends that we're making excuses for him, that's goddamn wrong. We're not making excuses for Nick Rekieta. We love Nick Rekieta. I love Nick Rekieta. I'll speak for myself. I love him. He's my friend. But he's sure as hell not being excused. No fucking way.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's tough love, man.
No, I agree. And I mean, that's what we've been saying. Like, we've been saying, need to go to rehab, need to face accountability, need to do anything you can do to benefit. And we just want to see a positive outcome.
There has to be aftercare too. You know, people like Nina said, coping skills. People talk about them all the time. You know, if you're drinking or whatever, you a lot of times using this stuff to cope. It's a negative coping skill. You got to learn positive ones, and that's what you learn in aftercare. You got to change your environment. I mean, there's so much stuff that happens, but it has the immediate has to have rehab, and we've all been talking about that. We've been yelling it. You know, this typically. You know, people complain because we don't have drama circle. You know, like if something happens with one of us, we have groups where we talk about stuff and we hash shit out, or we try to. A lot of us do, but this, I mean, it's so much bigger. And yeah, there's been frustration. I mean, I've talked about stuff I typically would not on Twitter. I've lost my cool on this, but it all comes from a place of love. There is no excusing anything in that. Quite the opposite.
Yeah, and now to be fair to the commenter, they might be joining at a time where we're like, speaking in a positive manner, and a lot of people are joining these streams and they're expecting to hear just me attacking the whole time. And we've said some harsh things in the show, but we understand the situation and we do want a positive outcome. And I feel like a lot of people are used to turning on these shows that are talking about this, and they're used to people fucking just ripping Nick apart. And maybe he deserves that in some shape or form, but I'm speaking from there are children involved. If it was just Nick, he just he's put the bottle in his ass, and he's licking the bottle, and he's fucked up all the time, and he gets arrested and has all these drug charges, like whatever. It maybe then I could see it maybe as justifiable. Oh, fuck the guy, throw him in the fire. But there's also 5 children that are going to suffer. So I want the father to remain in the family, go to rehab, better himself, avoid jail time, plea out, do whatever you need to do, and then improve your life and come out on top. People are saying your streaming career is over. No, you could totally come back from this.
No, man.
Dude, look at Johnny Depp. Look at Robert Downey Jr. Like, these people have gone, cleaned up their lives, and they're mega stars.
Yeah, I mean,
mega stars.
Dude,
you can do it.
DSP still has hundreds of people watching, and he beat his PP on stream, and he's terrible, and he's still there. Like, Nick's a talented dude. He's a smart dude. Look, he's in a pickle, and to be completely frank, the allegations for the child neglect are fucking disgusting. And if they end up being true, that's fucking disgusting.
That's fucked up.
It is what it is. And I just hope they're not. But I mean,
we're gonna find out. That body cam footage is coming out.
We're gonna find out. But addiction does crazy shit to people. Does it excuse anything? Of course not. Absolutely not. In my mind, it makes it fucking worse because I went through that shit my entire life with my family. But I don't think wishing a father out of the family is beneficial to children, in my opinion. Because before these issues, Nick was a great father.
Yeah.
So that I'm not led to believe at all, if he can make it out of this, that he won't continue to do so.
Slagless just said Nerdrotic went to jail, and look
Yeah.
at him now for drugs.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
true. Mhm.
Very true.
And, you know, to be fair, it's hard for me to speak this way. It's hard for me to even speak in a positive manner, because I felt jaded for a long time, because me and Nick were best friends. And then I could not get him to talk to me. We canceled our show that we had every Friday. And, you know, I was butthurt for a while, and I was jaded for a long time. And I never acted on any of those things, but I felt it. And I have every reason in the world to be like, fuck this guy, you know, even though like he doesn't know he's fucking doing the thing. But, you know, I understand the perspective that we're at, and I want him to get better. And I will say, I do hope the allegations of child neglect are bullshit. I've talked to Nick, and that's what he's swearing up and damn down it is. And I'm just praying that is the truth. Then thank you, Bob Piffle, for your $100 super chat. You're on the car for Iowa for the NASCAR ARCA Menards race there on Fox Sports 1. Don't miss it, June 14th. Thank you, Bob Piffle. We love you, Bob Piffle. A few more super chats, and I'm going to end the show. Tabitha LaRue says, I keep hearing Kayla's sister made some report. Anyone know if there's any truth to it? I saw a screenshot online, and it was redacted, but you know how it does. Apparently, that doesn't fucking matter anymore. So, yeah, it
Didn't
said
Tug tweet about that? Tug,
Yeah.
you tweeted about that, right?
Kayla's sister. Oh, yeah. She was listed on. Let me see how I list them exactly right. It says mention. It says victims and then mention. So that's how that's how it reads in the report. I'm not sure that means talk to them. You know, we have 4 anonymous sources. That's what we know.
right. So it's possible. It's fucking possible. So, I mean, I would, to be honest, I would expect the people that are reporting it are probably family, friends, church members. Like, those are the people in your life. So, I mean, that makes sense. Thank you, Tabitha LaRue. Fat Chick says, dude said chat was reading comprehension. Dude said was chat reading comprehension is key. Who's the dude and who? What
I think he's talking about when I went off about what that guy was saying.
Oh, that's fine. Fuck him. No, I'm just kidding. I love you. Slagla says, 5 for the Goomba. People moral figging over the kids is getting tiring.
Oh, the Goomba. I'm so happy that name is still around.
It's still here. Those same people last month hoped one of them would pass so they could laugh. You're right. I'm not one of these people, but there are a lot of people out there that are on forums that are like, those poor kids. They don't fucking give a fuck. They want anything to happen so they can get a laugh, you know. So I do see what you're saying, Slaglust. Thank you. Russell Hall, most people aren't helped by prison. Agreed. Thank you, Russell Hall. Who would want to be named Kayla Rekieta? Thank you, Russell. I appreciate you so much. There we are. We're 2 minutes over. Hey, everybody in the chat right now, like the show. Give it the up doodle. Let's get to 1,500 before we end it. I am going to raid the Hump Day with Shagworth. He's live right now, and I believe my boy Raking Knight's on there. Please do me a favor and subscribe to That Umbrella Guy. I try to watch every show he does every day. Fantastic, just a very autistic level of detail that he covers in everything that he does. Does a great job, and he has a very tasty voice, which helps.
That's why when this came up, people are like, "You're going to do another stream on this? Why? Because I need to. I have to understand it.
I have to. I can't stop. You don't understand.
Yes,
yeah.
I must understand what's going on.
You're unpacking it on the stream.
Yeah. So go subscribe to my boy, That Umbrella Guy, and don't forget. There's the link. Mick Stellar posted it just now, and don't forget to subscribe to Nina Infinity as well.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Cody.
Very, very fun channel. I try to catch all of her shows as well. But there's just so many. There's so many shows. But I usually pop up in almost every chat I can possibly pop up in.
I've seen you in there. You don't lie. I've seen
I'm
you.
usually there. Yes.
I know.
So thank you guys so much for popping on and making this stream very fun. It's why I went way over and I'm late for Jazz's show because I'm an asshole. Because I don't usually have guests, and when I do, I just really enjoy the show. I enjoy talking and getting different perspectives. Billy Hedger says, "Do Naked Snake." I am like an hour late for this other show, so I'm not going to do Naked Snake, but it does increase to 308 in a row. I will jiggle my titties twice for you guys, Friday. I think I'll do a show Friday. But
Wait, so you're not going to take your shirt off? I mean,
Yeah.
I came on here for what? No. Oh my
Yes.
God.
Look at it. I'm very
Look at
hairy.
those nipples.
Yes.
Cecil's on your chest.
Man,
My
I ain't
God.
talked to Cecil in
So
a while
gay.
either. I need to catch up. I want to, that's another thing with all this Nick stuff. I want to catch up with everybody and be like,
Yeah,
"How are you
I,
guys doing okay?"
I texted Cecil
Yeah.
earlier and I was like, come on my show. And then he didn't respond. That son of a bitch. I went on his
He's
show
out
at
of
noon.
town. He's
I
out
went
of
on his
town.
show at noon today, Nina. All right, but
Oh, he did? Oh, he
yeah.
did. So he's back. Oh, I thought he was out of town.
Anyways, thank you guys so much. I owe you one. We didn't hit Fight Milk, by the way, you bitches. You said do Fight Milk. We didn't hit Fight Milk. We were like $30 away, unfortunately. But we hit Nigga Snake. I will jiggle the titties twice for you on my next show. I just really need to go piss and then get on Jazz's show. So we're gonna raid Shag. He's a good boy. He's got great show. He has a really, really good show. And he's been getting a lot of awesome guests. I hope he's still alive. He is. Raking Knot. All right, cool. We're gonna raid them. Go give him some love. Raking Knot, by the way, was at my race in Charlotte. What a good boy. He's such a good man. And don't forget, subscribe to Nina Infinity. Subscribe to That Umbrella Guy. And I'll see you guys in a few days. Probably quicker than you think, because I'm going to be live again. Thank you guys so much. I love you. Appreciate you. And get the hell on it, doggone it. See you.